YouTube to join us here on TikTok. Awesome. Give me 2 seconds. Cool. Got that. Something like that. All right. What's up, YouTube? Come on over here to TikTok if you want to talk. I'm actually not going to have any vegans up again this time. I don't know. I kind of like the vibe, just me right now. So sorry, vegans. I do love you. Hey, what's up? The Radical Vegan. Hey, if you're not following the Radical Vegan, go follow her. She's amazing. She's actually the one that designed our signs that we hold up when we do street activism for anti-animal use. It's called Right Loud Vegan. Definitely go check out the Radical Vegan. Go watch her on YouTube. Go follow her on all the other accounts. She's even here on TikTok. So go find her, the Radical Vegan. Awesome. It's good to see you. Okay. Request. I want to give YouTube the request link. Okay. I'll pin that. Awesome. So anybody that's coming into the YouTube live, please click that link if you're not vegan. You think you have a good reason to not be vegan. I'm Vegan Stoner Lady, also known as Anna. And oh my gosh, look at you. You're both over here and over there. There you go, guys. Just click on her name right there, Alexandria. She is an awesome activist. Please go check her out. So I'm also an animal rights activist. I'm here speaking up for other animals that are sentient, just as we are, because we're all animals. And I'm here to ask, why aren't you vegan yet? Veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of other sentient beings. Sentience meaning the ability to have your own experience of the world, a subjective experience, right? You have your own experience of pain, suffering, joy, things that you look forward to certain things, or at least you want to have more good experiences and avoid the bad ones. It's what we all share. We care about what happens to us. So with that in mind, if there is nothing that we need from animals, that we can't get from other resources, why would we put a feeling, emotional being through a system that we wouldn't put ourselves through? It's a bit hypocritical, right? So with that said, I am bringing up guests. I want to run over my resources real quick. So usually I have a big old fat list of things to go look at. Now I just have a single website, just antianimaluse.org. It's just a website that we threw together that has all the resources. So just go to check that out. It's got Dominion. It's got 3-minute movie challenge on there. It has the trailer to Christspiracy and a link to their website, but you have to kind of hit some buttons to play the movie. So I gave you the way to get there, but you're going to have to walk through that door, if you will. So. Okay. Whew. So yeah, 18 and older only. And yeah, I want to know, what is it that separates humans, human animals and non-human animals, that justifies farming non-human animals, but not farming humans? I personally don't think we should be farming either, because we all care about what happens to us and what happens to those that we care about. I see a lot of opinions. The circle of life? How is it the circle of life? Are you talking about The Lion King? Because I don't think you understand what you mean when you say circle of life. Yeah, exactly. We're not even in the natural cycle of anything anymore. We've separated ourselves because we didn't find it fair, right? We didn't like being preyed upon. We didn't like being exposed to all the elements. It was a pretty rough environment being exposed. Yeah, it doesn't matter if our ancestors were vegan or not. I'm sure some of them were. It's just a human thing to recognize that someone is suffering and relate with it. So I wouldn't doubt that there were individuals even in our prehistoric times, that felt wrong to take life. So I'm sure that was the case. But as far as like evidence of people speaking up for animal rights, we have like oh gosh, it's slipping my mind right now. What's that philosopher's name? He's slipping my mind. Thousands of years. God, I can't remember his name. It's slipping my mind right now. It'll come to me later randomly. But anyway, advocating for animal rights has been a thing for at least thousands of years. So if you keep spamming, I will just block you because I just don't have time for you. Okay. Should animals be jailed for graping? No, because they are not a moral agent like you and I. You know there are consequences to your actions. You're aware that there would be a victim involved. So for you to do that is a big deal. You should be held accountable for your actions. Those that are moral patients that maybe don't understand morality still are sentient and care about what happens to them. So yes, they're, sentient individuals, but they're not moral agents. So you can't hold them to the same standard, much like children, right? You can't hold a child accountable the same way you would an adult because they don't fully understand human morality, a human adult morality yet. It's funny, the bacon to me looks like candy. It's kind of funny. You can live on vegan meat. Moon, I don't know why you're so upset. It's like unnecessary to talk like that. Well, so if you were the victim, would you want your oppressor to care what you wanted? Yeah, an oppressor would say the same thing. I don't care about my victims. Only the limp, wasted, simp oppressors care about their victims, right? Is that what you're saying? That empathy is a weakness, that you should just step on everyone's throats? Oh, so what we need for all of our organs, there's something called the Vegan Daily Dozen. If you actually go to this website, antianimaluse.org, you'll see a list of a nice little checklist of whole foods that you can consume to get everything you need in a day. So if that's really what you're concerned about, if you're worried about nutrition, I've got a solution. Just go here. Yeah, I don't buy anyone's skin. I don't buy their hair. I don't buy their feathers. I don't buy their scales. I don't buy anything that came from someone who couldn't consent to their treatment. And I understand that your God put us and animals here, but regardless of what you believe as a religion, right? We know for a fact, or at least from as far as we know, as with humans as well. So we can't really definitively prove that even humans are sentient. So we watch behaviors and we look at anatomy. We've done the same with other animals. We're very similar. Our anatomies match up very closely. We have a brain and a central nervous system, and these seem to be the organs necessary to express sentience. So we're very much the same. I kind of lost where I was going there for a minute. I keep reading comments. So since we know that they're sentient, it doesn't matter what your God allows. The animals don't want to feel that suffering. You don't need to cause them suffering. You don't need to take their life. Even if they don't feel suffering, they want to keep having experiences. You don't need to take anything from them. We have abundance. You have a grocery store. Just move your hand in the grocery store. Go down a different aisle, Yeah, it doesn't matter what animals would do. It's about what you would do, a moral agent. We have a guest. I'm going to take a break from the comments. Hey, Aiden, are you over 18?
Yes, ma'am. I'm 23.
Okay, did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful. So why aren't you vegan yet?
I don't view it as morally wrong. Oh, I'll say it like this. I don't agree with factory farming per se because I think factory farming not only is it what is the right word? I think a lot of like the bad meat or like the processed meat that's really bad for you does come from factory farming, but a lot of how they treat animals and how they slaughter animals, in my opinion, is very unethical. I do think that like small local farmers, I don't see that as morally wrong. That's kind of how I view it.
Okay, so let's say they're able to improve factory farming in that it's not so much that the animal's experience is better, but the resulting flesh, whatever they did, that stress that happened before that tainted their flesh, that's not a problem anymore. So we can factory farm them and it doesn't affect their flesh. Would you then be okay with factory farming?
Uh, in the sense of the amount of chemicals that get put into the meat, if that changed,
What chemicals are they putting in the meat?
I can't, I can't,
They're not putting meat. They're
I
not
can't.
putting chemicals in the meat. What happens in
Pro-
factory farming is they feed them foods that fatten them up faster. That's what makes factory farming horrible is that we're cramming animals in tiny spaces and feeding them a diet that just makes them fat. It's not healthy. It's not in their best interest. It just makes them get bigger faster. So the reason why we have factory farming is because these larger farms that do it the right way actually require much more water, much more land, much more food because the animals take longer to get to slaughter weight. So that's why we
that
have factory farming.
that is true, but like for example, cows are like cows, goats. They're grazers.
Okay.
So like for example, when we were when like we wean calves, for example.
I think you're missing my
Uh,
point though. You're going on to something
no, no,
else.
no.
We're talking
I do.
what I'm saying is that what do you care about when it comes to factory farming? If there was some way, if they waved a magical wand and suddenly factory farming flesh was healthier than large farms, right? Factory farming was better, healthier for you. Would you then be in support of factory farming?
No, because I when I said why I didn't support factory farming, I gave two
You
reasons.
did.
Yeah, one was the amount of processed meat that came from factory farming, and the other was how unethical that or how they treat and how they slaughter
I
animals
just
with
wanted
factory farming.
I just wanted to double check because a lot of the times, if someone gains, as an oppressor, if you gain more benefits from something, who you're using is a product. So it doesn't matter what they feel. That's why I was saying if the benefits were better from factory farming, would you then support it? But you then repeated that you do care about the experience of the animals. So then, if we care about the experience and welfare of those individuals, do you think that there is something that animals have, like as a resource that we need from them, we can't get in other sources that would maybe justify us farming them?
I mean, no, we like for example, one of the things that we do need to for human beings to sustain life is protein, and it is true that you can get protein from that is outside of meat.
Yeah. Do you think you can get enough of it to be healthy?
I mean, yeah, you could.
Could
It's
you get enough to
more,
be a
but yeah.
bodybuilder?
I mean, yeah, there are bodybuilders out there that are vegan.
Could you get enough to live to be maybe 90 or 100?
True, yeah,
Okay.
probably.
All right. So since we know that we can get all our needed protein, is there any other nutrient that you're holding on to that you think we can only get from animals?
The only thing I would say is B12, but you can take a pill.
Yeah. Where does B12 come
B12
from?
comes from the meat. It's what
It actually comes from
the
bacteria. It's from
Yes,
the soil.
that animals do eat.
Yeah, so if it's just a bacteria, which by the way, so they've sanitized a lot of our soils and a lot of our food. It used to be that we could get it on our vegetables and such, but for a good reason, things have been more sanitized. So even the animals you use are actually being supplemented with the same supplements that you could just take. So if you use an animal for your vitamins, you're literally just filtering the same vitamins through their flesh. And if they don't
Okay.
supplement them, you can also become deficient because they don't, the animals that we use, they don't live long enough to show signs of deficiencies for like B12, for example. But if you only consume animals that don't get supplemented, there's a good chance that you'll also be deficient.
Uh,
I
I mean,
actually know someone who's vegan now who used to be on the carnivore diet. And when he ate animals, he was actually B12 deficient because the animals
well,
he
I
was
think
consuming were not being supplemented.
yeah, and I also think the carnivore diet is super unhealthy.
My point is, you said B12 only comes from animals, and I'm trying to show you that it actually comes
No,
from
no,
bacteria. So it doesn't matter if the animal eats it or not. You can just take a supplement instead of taking someone's life.
no. I said I would say B12, but there is a supplement
I
that
know, but I
vegans
don't
do
want you to
take.
think that it's like this crazy, weird thing. A lot of people are against supplements for some odd reason. But, if you go to a doctor and you're B12 deficient, do they give you a steak or do they give you a B12 supplement?
They give you a supplement.
Exactly.
Uh, but
So, what's stopping
but
you from leaving this conversation living vegan? That is to say, living a life where you agree that it's an ethical obligation for you to not demand someone else's exploitation and living in
I
alignment
don't
with that.
because I don't view it morally wrong.
Well, of course, you're the oppressor, but what if you were the victim?
I mean, other animals are victims to other animals,
So,
but we don't view that as wrong.
an alien comes down and wants to eat you, but they have other things they can eat, but they like the way you taste. Do you find it fair that they're going to take your life just for taste pleasure?
Would I find it fair? I mean, no, but I'd fight for my life, so I'm not unalive.
Exactly. Why do you think it's any different from for any other animal?
Well, then we would have to use that same logic when it comes to other animals eating other animals.
We don't have to do that because they're not in our
But
nations. You're talking about wild animals, right? They're not in our it's like saying that children now need to be compared to adults. They need to be held to the same accountability as adults when they don't even understand things. Kids do things that are immoral because they don't understand, right?
I
Correct?
mean, yeah, that's
Right.
true.
So other animals are much the same. They don't
But I
necessarily
mean, that's even
understand
with
human morality, human adult moral agent morality. So it's ridiculous to say we're going to hold them accountable when we can't even communicate with them. And you know
but
who I
that's not
you know who I can communicate with? I can communicate with you. You can make a big difference. You know who takes more lives than the wild predators? Humans. We raise 92.2 billion animals every year for slaughter. One person going vegan can prevent 100 to even 300 animals a year from being born into existence. You're a bigger
okay.
predator than any wild animal. So, what I want you to do is consider your actions, the repercussions of your choices. Because if you keep pointing to wild animals for your moral compass, you're going to also allow grape, infanticide, right? Schmurder.
No.
Animals do it. It's nature. So if you're going to say, well, because animals harm each other, we have to step in, then I think that you should be accountable for your actions first.
Okay, I got two questions to ask that would really for me it would help me understand our conversation more. The first one is, do you view morality itself as subjective or objective?
I think that what I'm asking you is that you have an idea of what fairness is, right? And I asked you, do you
We
think
don't
it,
we don't have fairness
I'm
in the
asking
world
you
though.
your opinion about fairness, not objective fairness. I'm asking about your perspective of fairness, what you specifically think is fair, right? I asked you, do you think it would be fair if an alien came down and wanted to snack on you, even though they have other things they can consume? You said no. You clearly know what's fair and not fair in your mind. So if it's not fair to do that to you, why is it fair for you to do to other animals?
Well, whether it's fair or not is
Why is it
irrelevant because they're
fair?
going to do it
Aiden, if you
regardless.
don't want to have this conversation, I'm going to move on. I'm not going to play
I- I'm
games.
I'm trying to have a conversation
I don't
about it,
think
but
you
I
are. You're
mean,
trying to be slimy.
I asked the question, but
Why
you
is it fair?
haven't answered it.
Why is it fair to use animals? Why do you think it's fair to the animals for you to use them for your benefit?
Repeat that one more time.
Why do you think it's fair for you to use animals?
Why do I think it's fair for me to use animals?
Yes,
I mean,
without their consent.
you ain't gonna get anyone's consent of unaliving them.
So because you can't get consent from someone, you have the right to use their body for whatever you want. Is that what I'm understanding?
Okay. If we're gonna use that logic, if we're using that logic,
dude, no. If you can't answer my questions, I'm not gonna waste my time with you. The point is, animals care about what happens to them. If they cannot consent, you don't have rights over their autonomy. There is no morally relevant difference between us.
Eat animals.
Eat animal poop? That's a bad idea, buddy. I wouldn't eat their poop. It's not good for you. 989673. Are you over 18?
Yep, I'm 18.
No, you're not. User, come on up.
Hello?
Hi, are you over 18?
Yeah.
Why aren't you vegan yet?
I'll never be vegan.
Why are you up here?
Because you need to stop telling people to stop eating.
I didn't tell anyone that they need to eat you. I don't know what you're crying about. It's actually my life. I can do however I please. Thank you, though, for your advice. Hey, Cook, are you over 18?
I am. Yeah, I'm 29.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I don't really see that it makes sense, honestly. And also, meat tastes good. I'm not gonna lie about that aspect. That's definitely a big factor.
That's fine. I'd actually prefer you be honest on that. So, what was the
Yeah.
first one, though? Say it again.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense because, like, any argument I've heard of on it doesn't necessarily track for me. Like, for example,
Well, what does it
if
mean?
you have the old statement, I'm sorry,
Well, what does veganism even mean?
you don't use animal products or anything that exploits animals.
That is something we do, but that's not what veganism means. Veganism is is a personal principle against the exploitation of sentient beings. So I'm against using someone. I'm against using someone unfairly for my benefit, not theirs.
Gotcha. I think that at the end of the day, all the arguments I've heard, I'll break them down real quick.
You have a problem
So if
with
you're talking
my...
about the whole-
Wait. What did I just say? Can you repeat it to me? Because I don't know if you actually heard me.
Yeah, you're against the unethical exploitation of sentient beings.
Okay. So you do understand.
Yeah.
Do you not agree with that?
I don't know. I think you're making an odd
So
claim for how
if
the
you
world
can,
that's
I
not how the
know.
world is,
Cook,
though.
look, I'm not telling you should have my principles. I'm asking you about your principles. You don't think that you should avoid demanding someone's exploitation when you're able to?
When we're talking about someone, I don't think animals are someone.
Why do you think that?
Not humans. They're not humans.
So?
Same way as like if a bear, ate someone alive, you wouldn't put the bear in prison. But if a person did that, you would. We give different rules and
You
expectations.
kind of contradicted yourself there. The point is that humans... Okay. The point is that adult humans for the most part, have moral agency. A bear does not have moral agency.
Well, why don't they?
Because they're surviving a harsh environment. We have this cognitive...
So are people.
So some of us are sapient and able to think about thoughts. Cook, would you shut your hole? Like, would you stop talking? Do you want to have a conversation, or are you just here to flop around your tiny dick?
See, this is the thing with you rude vegan.
Yeah, I know. You're going to go cry about it. Go cry about your floppy. I get it. It's okay. Everyone's different. We embrace you being different. MMA.
You're a rage bait.
Yeah, that's okay. I at least got your attention, right? You're here. Got you up on my panel, so I guess it works. Hey, Sky, are you over 18?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 34.
Okay, right on. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Hang on, I'm so sorry. I'm sitting in my car with the Bluetooth just turned off. So why am I not vegan, yeah?
Yeah.
Because I still believe, please don't get offended, but I still believe that plant crops kill animals.
Oh, yeah, that does happen, yes.
So it's like choosing which is the best or worst option, you know?
No.
Why?
Well, what does veganism mean?
The non-use of animal products in general.
That is an effect of it,
no.
yes, or a side effect, if you will. It's actually a principled stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. So I think that if I can avoid demanding someone's exploitation, I should. I don't think that we should
Well, that isn't done through vegan crops.
I don't think that we should exploit each other based off of arbitrary traits. That's what veganism is.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But I almost agree
So
with
then what is it?
I would agree with that.
Name the trait then.
Go on, sorry.
Well, I agree with you.
Mhm.
Yeah. But could you name the trait that justifies then farming animals but not humans?
Well, there's nutritional needs that
Humans have nutritional needs.
I know this might be.
There's B12 in there. There's
I don't
iron. There's a lot of good stuff in my muscle. Are you going to take my life just because I have iron in my muscle?
I do wish the same as you that we were different as a species, you know. I do wish we were, and I can see the real problems with it. But unfortunately,
Okay, so
our
what is it we
DNA
need?
structure, our needs, as in terms of nutrients,
Yeah, what is it you think we need from animals that we can't get from other sources? Oh, I can't hear you. You're muted. Are you teacupped? I can't hear you if you leave the app.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm new to this. I'm so old.
No, you're all good. There's a lot of buttons, so don't worry about it. So what?
Yeah, well, I do think there are nutritional things, like the obvious ones that we can't get from plants, that we can get from meat.
Can you name them for me, please?
Well, there's the obvious major one, which I personally don't believe in taking B12 supplementations.
What is
having worked in the
B12? Where does B12 come from?
An animal's gut.
It actually comes from bacteria, and it's supplemented to the animals that you use.
That's not true.
It is. Go Google it.
No, bacteria. Cows eat grass.
Yes. The bacteria is
Grass,
in the
then-
grass. The bacteria is in the grass.
Yeah, but only the cow could translate that to have
not
the
true.
B12 in its
It's
tissue.
not true.
Of course it is.
No.
That's the logic of how B12
No,
is made.
it's not
It
true.
ends up in
It's
the
not
cow's
true.
tissue.
It's not true.
What, so you think that they are given a supplement, but then
They are.
automatically...
We've sanitized our soil, so we have to supplement them.
But I work on a farm, and I
They put it in their
personally
food.
raise... No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
In a
They
pasture
give
raised,
them.
regeneratively
They give
raised.
them cobalt. Either they put it in the soil.
Cobalt is a...
Yeah, and then
Cobalt is a
it
naturally
makes
occurring
B12.
mineral.
That's how. But you can just take a supplement. What's wrong with a supplement? Tell me.
Can I tell you what's wrong with the supplement?
No, hold on one second. Before you monologue to me
Mhm.
about some conspiracy
okay.
theory of supplements, if you go to the doctor
No.
and you're B12 deficient, is your doctor going to give you a steak or a B12 supplement?
Well, you could avoid going to that doctor completely by having
Is your
the correct
doctor
nutrition.
who's gone to medical school going to give you a supplement or a steak?
My doctor personally would recommend you.
You know, I don't want to talk to people that are not going to listen to science. I don't care about your anecdotal perspective. That's not reliable. A lot of people say they see aliens, right? Just because they see them. If we don't have evidence, there's probably no aliens, right? So just because your doctor doesn't, If your doctor's prescribing you steak, that doctor needs to lose their license because they have maybe 2 days education on, like 48 hours literally, on diet and how it affects your health. A dietitian, on the other hand, has 6,000 to 8,000 hours of education focusing on how your diet affects your health. So if you're going to talk to me about nutrition and you're telling me don't go to the doctor, red flag, dude. Red flag. Go talk to a dietitian. Okay? They know exactly what's good for you. You can say, hey, you know what? I don't want to use animals. Is it possible for me to thrive without using animals? And they'll say, hey, you know what? Yeah, there is. Let me help you make up that meal plan. You can go here, antianimaluse.org. I actually have the Vegan Daily Dozen on there, which is by nutritionfacts.org. And if you check out, it's just a little block list that we put out there in little cartoons. So it's even more simple. Just a little checklist. Make sure you get your servings of each one. That's it. You can support whatever company you want. Whole Foods, whoever grows them. How's everyone doing over here in the YouTube chat? Keep hitting that heart, y'all. Thank you, Total Liberation Now. Appreciate that. If you're not following Total Liberation Now, go check them out. They're new and they're putting out some new content. Kind of want to get their numbers up so they can go live. So let's see that happen. It's good to see you here, guys. Hey, U-Tops, Chase. Oh my gosh, good to see you guys. Lambretta. Oh, I thought that was Lambretta. That's not. That's somebody else. Oh, I see. Don't care about nature. Yeah, I don't care about nature either. Animals do have thoughts, though. I don't know why you're saying they're thoughtless. That's silly. Another damn vegan. Hello. All right, guys. Vegan Anthem, I see you. Oh, there is Lambretta. You are there. Okay. I got there eventually. Sabby, I see you there. What's up? Okay. Hey, y'all. What's up? Good to see you. Hey, all right, TikTok. I'm going to read the chat for a minute just to kind of take a break from trolls. They're really frustrating me. But if you're over 18, I'm going to take like 5 minutes. I'll pick you back up. Not even 5 minutes. A couple minutes. Just want to read some of these. Vitamins weren't investing for vegans. Weren't investing for vegans. I don't know what you mean by that. Oh, yeah, like vegans aren't the ones supporting the vitamin industry. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah, all caps. Yeah, the vitamin industry is actually not supported by vegans. So it's funny that all these non-vegans are like, supplements suck. And it's like, yeah, probably because your animal products aren't, they're not full of the nutrients you think they are. So you have to take your supplements. But we see that supplements work. So let's just take them. Who cares? We can improve the system that supplements are in. I do agree there's some troublesome stuff sometimes, like you don't know where they're sourced all the time. And that could be upsetting. I think we should have some transparency on that. Our health definitely does matter, but we have the ability to supplement. And honestly, anything that's wrong with vitamins is definitely going to be in our other foods anyway, so. Aw, thank you, Mark. Oh my gosh. $5 from Mark J. VSL, you're awesome. There is no greater purpose in the work that you do. I agree. We need more people out here doing this. How do I go read it? There we go. Yes. Is it like, do I have to go here? I can like it. There we go. Thank you. Oops. Do I have to? Oh, nice. I can. Cool. Puts in a little separate chat. That's neat. Awesome. Appreciate that, Mark. Thank you. That's very sweet. Awesome. Oh, JK, what's up? I see you. Awesome. Okay. Yes, I agree. The supplement industry can be scammy, but the animal ag industry is 100% exploitative, as we have to take someone's everything away from them. So I'd rather support the supplements for now. If you want, though, You absolutely can do a whole food plant-based diet without supplementation. It's just that you have to, be very mindful of your diet, just as you would with any diet. In fact, I don't think people understand. It's like over 90% of the population, at least in the US, is deficient in something. And it's because we don't know how to eat. So we're going on saying, oh, I need to eat animal flesh, but everyone's forgetting about fiber. It's just like, uh, nobody knows how to eat. I do think we need a revolution of people learning how to cook for themselves in a simple manner with, just some spices. There's a lot you can make with so little. I really strongly suggest, vegan or not, go check out vegan recipes here, even on TikTok. As you're sliding through, just find vegan recipes or vegan easy recipes. People have gotten so creative with so little. It's amazing, the flavors and the textures and just things you didn't even think you could actually even replace. Like, I'm not even talking about replacing things, but it's amazing what you can, bring back from your childhood that you thought you'd never have again. It's like, oh my God, I don't have to demand someone's exploitation for this deliciousness. And it's so simple, a lot of these recipes. So I really urge people to check them out because people got really, really creative. There's just no excuse in 2026 to not be vegan. So yeah, the steak is also supplemented, meaty. That's what I was trying to say, is that you're just filtering your vitamins through someone else's body. So just take a goddamn supplement. It's okay. Yeah, all those vitamins, B12. You can even get K2. You can get heme iron. They get it from soybean roots. D3 you can get as well. There's a lot of these you can also get in seaweed. There's, if you want it, like I think it's the B12 specifically, you can get it. I know there's two different types. I'm not a nutritionist, so I don't pretend to know everything about nutrition. I do remember some things. I just don't care to give advice on it because you guys are on the internet. You know how to look up things. So just look up how to eat. You can go on here. There's actually resources. You can go to 10 Weeks to Vegan is a great resource where they actually have mentors that you can talk to and a community that you can join to talk about your obstacles and how to overcome them if you want to be vegan. I understand if you genuinely have a hurdle that's holding you back. I'm here to help. But if you're just here to make excuses, I just don't want to waste my time, All right, hold on a second. Before I bring someone up, I just need a sip of water. Okay. Colin. Hey, are you over 18?
Yep.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I don't want to argue, but what do you think about the
Well, first answer my
degradation of
question.
our why am I not vegan
Yeah.
yet? Because I'm just not fully convinced. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead then.
What do you think about the degradation of our dental, skeletal, and craniofacial, as well as our mental decline after the agricultural revolution?
I don't know.
Are you aware of that?
No.
Well, basically, after the agricultural revolution, like when we started, you know, planting crops and having other forms of non-meat related food sources, our skeletons, our faces, specifically our maxillas, which is like your upper jaw, started to become more recessed.
Okay.
Our faces became more narrow.
What does this have to
and
do
our
with veganism?
teeth- I'm just saying that reason that happened was because we started consuming grains.
So just don't eat grains. I don't care what you eat. I'm just telling you to leave out sentient beings.
Yeah, but that's not really possible to optimize your development or
I don't know. I'm fine. Have you seen Nimai Delgado? He's
Oh, I'm sure he's a good-looking
oh
guy,
yeah,
but
he's a
I'm
bodybuilder
just
and he's
saying,
never eaten an animal. So
yeah, I mean,
if you're trying to
there's
say
definitely
that a vegan diet results in a wimpy frame, I'm just gonna laugh in your face because the science says otherwise.
um well, what about the dental aspect of that and
I
the
don't know what you're
craniofacial?
talking about, but the evidence shows that we actually thrive on a vegan diet. If you want stronger bones, wear a weighted vest and do some jumping jacks.
What about the studies that would suggest
I don't
that
care, bud. I don't care. I don't care. You can get
okay,
everything
well,
you need on a plant-based diet. So if you can get everything you need on a plant-based diet, you don't need their wool, you don't need their skin, their fur, you don't need their scales. What's the justification then for using them?
because it doesn't make you look better,
So you only care about your aesthetics?
pretty
That's very
much.
superficial of you. I feel sorry for you. That sucks.
Okay, well, what difference? I mean, that's the only thing that matters in regard to reproduction and evolution.
Wow, you're one of those.
So,
Gross. I don't want to talk to people that are that worried about their reproduction that they're like, I have to eat meat so some lady will touch me. Get over yourself. Oh my gosh. You know, actually, women would flock to you if you had principles instead of insecurities. Maybe stop worrying so much about your aesthetics, start focusing on your principles, because that's actually what makes someone attractive. Hey, Lori. I'll bring you up. Hey, how's it
How are
going?
you?
I'm doing okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know if I'm gonna.
That was
Yeah, it was
pretty gross.
wild.
Go ahead.
I might.
Only bring up
Sorry.
non-friendly.
Yeah, I was only bringing up
Only bring up
non-friendlies, but I don't
non-friendly.
know. It's
Okay.
it's kind of nice to have you around. If you want to hang around, I'll let you be. I'll let you be the one sole vegan
Oh.
up here.
Okay,
I just haven't seen you
thanks.
for a while,
It's
so
up to
it's
you.
good to see you.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while
Yeah.
either. Yeah. Yeah, whatever you want to do, man. I don't want to mess you up.
No, I think it's okay. I just I have been doing better without having other vegans up, so I feel like it's
Oh,
almost
okay.
like
Okay.
when I have that backup, I almost feel more like secure in like attacking them, and I don't want to do that.
Oh,
But
right. I get
yeah,
you.
but it's
I
just
get
good
you.
seeing you. So if you want to step in, you're welcome to step
Yeah.
in though.
Oh, okay. No, I'll let you go for it.
Awesome, cool.
I'll let you go for it.
Well, I don't have anyone right now, so I'm just gonna chat at the
Oh.
chat for a bit. But yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I didn't know if you, well, I don't know if you know about MBR acres and stuff and what's going on with that, but
No, I don't.
Ridgeland, here, this month, they're, Wayne, is getting as many people, 100 or more people together to go in and take the beagles
Oh,
out
damn.
of,
Wow.
did you hear about that?
I didn't know he was doing that. No.
In Massachusetts, yeah, Wisconsin. That's where it is in Wisconsin.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, so he's getting like over 100 people to walk in, and himself included,
Damn.
to get those dogs out. And he's like, come on, government, if you want to stop us, you're either going to see what they're doing or you're going to arrest all of us.
Wow.
So I'm really considering going there.
Wow.
If I feel better.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
I'm
you're
feeling
not
better.
feeling
Yeah,
good?
I've
I'm
been pretty
sorry.
sick. No, I've been pretty sick, but yeah, it's supposed to happen this month. So
Damn.
it'll be interesting to see what happens with
Yeah,
that.
that's
but
crazy.
I just didn't know if you heard.
I didn't hear about that. I
Yeah.
definitely will look into that afterwards. That's awesome that they're doing that
Yeah.
because we definitely need the right to rescue. So I'm glad that they're willing to put themselves
Yeah.
out there and at risk, Colin, I don't want to talk
Yeah.
to you. I know you have a tiny little floppy one, but we don't need to hear about it. Okay. I have 3 girlfriends. Holy cope. You're the holy coper. Oh my God, dude. Okay, first off, learn that when you are clearly lying, don't exaggerate so much. 3 is a lot. Okay, that sounds outrageously hilarious. You're just saying like, no, it's
Mhm.
not small, it's teeny.
It's microscopic.
Exactly, like, gosh, yell harder about it.
Right? I don't know why men do that.
This
Boys, I
guy
should
is
say.
one of those people that says he has to kill animals in order for women to touch his pee-pee.
Oh, really? May want to rethink that, man.
Oh, are you talking?
I don't know.
Oh, no, I can't hear you. Uh-oh.
Me?
Oh, there we go. Now I can hear you. I don't know what just happened.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Oh. Could be my phone, I don't know.
Were you talking?
That's really gross. I was just saying that's pretty sad.
Oh, okay. Weird. Oh, it might have been my headphones. That has happened before, so.
Oh, okay.
Anyway. Let's see. I'm gonna talk to some people here in the chat. How's it going, guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
You guys make sure you're liking and sharing. We need to get some people in here, okay? If you like and share, we'll have some good conversations. My name is VSL, or Vegan Stoner Lady. I'm also called Anna. I'm just an animal rights activist here speaking up for other animals. We all care about what happens to us. We want to have more good experiences and avoid being harmed or suffering. And I think that's all that matters, you know? When we look at other humans and we say we need to respect everyone, we're not saying except those that are really low IQ, those that have certain parents we don't agree are good enough, we deem lesser than us. We don't say, oh, except if they're really hairy or they move or walk different or if they think different. No, we say respect all humans, right? If someone cares about what's happening to them, you respect that individual. And that's what we're trying to say. You can get everything you need without demanding someone's exploitation. Yes, some people do have some really high obstacles to get around. I don't disagree with that. I'm here saying those that can go vegan should, because when you demand more vegan products, you're also going to decrease the price of those goods. And you're going to make them more available because those companies are going to produce and try to find more audiences to sell to. So you're going to make these tasty, delicious vegan foods cheaper and more available just from buying stuff in the store. That's it. You can make a huge difference that way. One person going from an omnivorous diet to a vegan diet can prevent 100 to 300 animals from being born into that system. That's a huge difference. You can make a huge difference. Yeah, humans are also tasty. Oh, okay. So you're just being misogynistic. I don't know what that means. Eat aliens. Okay, so you're just saying ridiculous things. Got it. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, YouTube. If you're not vegan and you think you have a great argument for not being vegan, you can click that link that I put in the chat, YouTube, and come on up. We can have a chat about it. You can request over. That link will bring you right to me. Well, Boiling Frog, come on up here. Let's talk about it. I see you have an opinion. Let's talk. It doesn't matter what animals do. You're a moral agent. You actually understand there are repercussions to your actions. You can be held accountable for your actions. Other animals can't necessarily be held accountable for their actions compared to our morality. You know, they're not living in our circles. They don't even understand that because they have their own circles they live in. We weren't made by anybody. We evolved maybe using animals, but we don't need to anymore. The evidence shows strikingly that we can thrive without using them. In fact, when I say thrive, I don't mean just us, the planet, other animals, wild animals. One of the leading causes for biodiversity decrease is animal agriculture. We use so much land just to feed them and house them. And they only give us 18% of our total global calories. And it's mostly to people in the West. So we're starving people and we're destroying all of our resources at the same time of enslaving multiple nations of other people just for pleasure. And I say people, I'm including other animals. Well, Patrick, you can move. You can either move to where there's food available in the winter, or you can get food brought to you. You can prepare for the winter, right? In those warmer months, you can stock up foods that last throughout the winter. Lots of people do that that live out in the middle of nowhere. The point is, it's a mindset. I'm not here shaming people that have no other choice. I'm saying, do you have another option? Are you sure this is it? Yeah, Anik, I totally hear you there. Like, it's easy to make a vegan diet fit your low income. In fact, the foods that we eat are the cheapest in the store. The beans, the rice, the local in-season fruits and vegetables, the frozen fruits and vegetables, the canned fruits and vegetables. Oh. All right, Teddy, come on up. Hey, Peace for All, I see you down there. Hey, Teddy, are you over 18?
I am.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
So, have you ever? One quick question: have you ever heard of thalassemia?
I mean, is this a clarification question?
So, I have. Let's put it this way: my sister and I both have a blood type, which it's all it is basically an iron deficiency. But essentially, my sister tried going vegan years ago, and
Why?
all of her friends were. What's that?
Oh, why did she go vegan?
Because all of her friends were doing it, and she wanted to kind of.
So she wanted to do it for health reasons.
No, she was doing it because it was the cool thing to do among her friends. Anyways, long story short, she passed out 3 times in a week.
It doesn't
once
sound like
even
she
in
had the
service.
right motivation. She probably wasn't eating enough.
Well, she saw the doctor. The doctor says, you have this blood type thalassemia, which we inherited from our father. And he said, yeah, you can go vegan, but you have to take 13 supplements daily and to basically be healthy off of this diet.
Okay. What's
And so-
veganism?
What is veganism?
Yeah.
You tell me. I don't know.
It's an ethical stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. So she wasn't vegan, she was plant-based. And it sounds like she wasn't getting all her needed nutrition. She wasn't accounting for everything. But the thing is, we have evidence that you can get everything. If she genuinely wanted to be vegan, which for me, the motivation is to not demand someone's exploitation, she could go to a dietitian and say, hey, I don't want to use animals. Please help me.
Well, she went to her doctor. Obviously, a
doctor
dietitian's
has
not a doctor.
2 days maybe of education about how diet affects your health, like 48 hours.
Sure.
A dietitian has 6,000 to 8,000 hours focused on how your diet affects your health. Who do you think knows more?
The dietitian, obviously. However, it sounds like it's, for some, it's a lot of work. You
So
have to
what
really
I'm
want it
saying
to be
is, if she wants to stop using animals, she can go to a dietitian and they can help her specifically. There is no condition that exists to this day that will absolutely prevent you from using or prevent you from going vegan. There just isn't.
You're right. She's probably lazy, and the easier choice is to go for the pork chop.
I'm not
I
calling
don't
her
know.
lazy. I'm saying that she did a plant-based diet. She wasn't standing up against exploitation. And if you want to stand up against exploitation and be healthy, you can. But you have to put the effort in sometimes if you might have a condition. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're right.
Okay. So then if you
thanks for taking me on.
so what I'm asking you is, if you can take supplements, why are you still using animals?
Because it's a lot easier to just eat the animals than take the supplements, and I'm
So if
taking the
you were
easy
the
way out
victim,
personally.
let's
Plus,
say these aliens come down, they can take supplements, but they want your iron specifically. Do you think that's fair?
I don't think life is fair.
So you don't think it's fair then? You think it would be unfair for them to take your life just because you have iron?
No, I'm not saying I disagree.
Would you think it's fair or not fair?
I think that's the way life works.
Can you answer my question, or we can just end it here?
It's survival of
Do
the
you think
fittest,
it's interesting
essentially.
you can't answer? This shows that you agree with me.
I told you nothing in life is fair.
So because life's not fair, you've now just justified human slavery. I can enslave because, hey, life's not fair. Dummy.
Right.
I just don't care to waste my time with people that are like, I'm not going to answer your question. I'm going to give you 3 chances. And if you can't muster up the adulthood, the maturity to answer the damn question, then you get to sit with the children at the children's table, okay?
Right?
These adults crack me up. When they know they're in a corner, they just start crying. It's like, just answer the question. Maybe you'll learn something about yourself. You seem to have the same principles as me. You're starting to recognize you're not living in alignment, and you're starting to say but. Like, no, it's not fair if someone was to come take your iron. It's not fair. They can take a goddamn supplement. I don't fucking care. I want to live. I'm using my iron. I need my iron. Eat the iron out of your own goddamn leg.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
People crack me up. Well, Lori, are you willing to come back? I'm going to restart the live because there's only like 10 people here.
I'll come back.
Awesome.
I'll come back.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll see y'all in
All
like
right.
30 seconds. I'm going to restart the live. Oh, all right. Bye. Hey, YouTube, you're still with me, though. Oh, that last guy was annoying.
I wasn't listening.
Okay. All right. YouTube, how are you doing? John, were you just eating vegan butter? Just chugging coconut oil? Like, how could veganism be bad for your heart? Literally all the products that we have that are alternatives, their counterparts are more unhealthy than the vegan alternatives. So I don't know how you effed your heart up unless you were just eating garbage, which is totally possible. There's a lot of vegan junk food out there, and it is good. Okay. I guess let's go back in. Here we go. Another trash pile. Just kidding.
Trash fire.
Trash fire. My goodness, it's taking a while. Oh, maybe not. Okay, there we go. Check the YouTube perspective. Oh no, oh gosh, what is happening? Okay. TikTok couldn't even see that, just you, YouTube. It's funny. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Why aren't you vegan? I'm VSL. I want to know why you're not vegan. I've got resources here, anti-animal use. If you click in there, it actually starts a counter of how many animals have been slaughtered since you opened the website. And then if you hit, what was it? I wrote it down too. I thought I did. Anyway, if you want to see your, God damn, I had a little sticky note. Where did I put it? Okay. Well, I'm going to open it and read it. Let's see. Antianimaluse.org. Oh, yeah. See what you fund and end your participation. Tighten that up so I can just see a little bit of it. Yes. So when you go in there, you'll see two buttons. See what you fund brings you down to all the films that we're connecting you to. We have the 3-minute movie challenge and then Dominion. Both are great watches. 3-minute movie is just great if you're in a pinch, but Dominion really is worth the entire watch. All free to watch. You just click on them right there. And then there's also a list of like, what's your excuse? And then you go down to end your participation, and there's a resource page that it can take you to, or there's another link that says start your 10 weeks vegan. So you can just start out your journey. I hate using that word, but you can, start with a group, which actually is huge. Having a community is big. I know that I felt more empowered when I found other people that were vegan. So 10 weeks to vegan is great. So like I said, in my participation brings you down to that. And yeah. Should be able to also find nutritionfacts.org on there in the resources. Just tells you how to get everything you need in a day, a whole food plant-based diet. So I like to have that list as like a reminder of what to get in a day, but after a while it just becomes habit. You don't even need to really think about it. It's not hard. You know, it takes like 20 minutes maybe to relearn how to eat and live. You know, just going on to search. And even now, today, it's even easier because we have all these AI search engines. So you can be like, how can I do this? Can you make a meal plan for me? You know, but that's what I like about the 10 weeks of vegan is that if you don't feel comfortable using those technologies, you can reach out to people. So definitely do that. You know, don't want to be normalizing exploitation. It's not fair for the victims. I don't want to be exploited. So. Well, make sure you are liking and sharing. Oh my gosh. I don't know. TikTok? What's going on, TikTok? Why are you doing this? Well, I guess we'll just carry on. So, you know, what's crazy is what made me go vegan. I've been vegan now about 9 years. Is that I saw the dairy industry. I didn't understand that a cow, I understood she was a mammal, but I didn't understand that in order for her to produce the milk that we consume, she has to have a baby. Didn't know that. And I mean, I did see images where, you know, a cow was with her calf, and that did trigger the idea of dairy in my mind. And it's like, oh yeah, you know, like, I don't know. It's like there was this part of me that knew babies drink milk, but I didn't, for some reason, the neurons weren't put together. And that just tells you how good that propaganda was, the milk industry, to making us think that we absolutely needed it, that it comes from a cow that just eats grass, right? Nobody knew that someone was plunging their arm into the cow bum, right? Which already sounds outrageous. That's not where her you know, reproductive stuff is, right? That sounds, why are they doing that? They're doing it because they use her colon like a glove. They do that to hold her cervix in place. Wow, guys, what is going on? How is it just two people? I don't know. Maybe I can restart again. But I'm going to finish my point, though. So, you know, they plunge their arm and use her colon like a glove to hold her cervix in place. And then with a syringe full of bull semen, which they had to get from a bull, that's someone's job, is to obtain bull semen from a bull. They often will put electrodes or buzzies in their bum until the cow goes. And sometimes they do it by hand. I've seen on dirty jobs, they do that to turkeys. They rub their nub with their thumb and they use a straw to suck up what comes out. And it's literally someone having this three-way straw. One of the straws is in their mouth, and it's supposed, the material is supposed to go into a bag. And the guy in the show is like, I have a bottle of water for a reason, because it sometimes gets into the wrong straw. So it's someone's job to be slurping that down, you know? You're demanding that every Thanksgiving. I want you to remember that. Every Thanksgiving, you demanded some worker suck the semen out of a turkey. That's not even, it's not a euphemism. That's fact. That's literally what's happening. That's wild. Turkeys are so big, they have to be artificially inseminated. They can't naturally mate, the farmed ones. We kill, I think it's like 40 million turkeys in the US every year. 40? I think it's over that too. That's just, I can't even. Each turkey by hand. Gross. That is nasty. Yes, if you put dead animal body parts over the plants, sure, the plants will obtain that. Plants aren't moral agents. They're just sucking up nutrients, right? But you can put that same nutrients there from a different source, right? You don't have to take the life of somebody just so you have fertile soil. Why don't we do that with like mass murders and stuff? Right? There's another way. We can do it without taking someone's life. We can do green manures. We can compost. Different plants make different types of compost, and you can concentrate different nutrients that you need, you know? We can totally farm without using animal output or byproducts. One second. There's something called veganic farming. You should definitely check it out. Don't use any animal inputs. And you can even do it without using pesticides and other things. Like, that's the whole point, is to try to use a system that's not working against, but with the natural system around you, because then you're going to get, you know, more reliable output and not do damage to your surrounding area, which is important. But even if we didn't have a solution, honestly, even if it was better for the planet to use animals, I would still advocate for veganism, because, you know, animals care about what happens to themselves, and I wouldn't want to be enslaved just to make the environment better. Yeah, that's a lot. You might not live very long if that's really what you did. 55 burgers, huh? You can eat 55 vegan burgers. There's so many different kinds too. Like, it's funny too, with animal burgers, you just have like the 5 animals that you eat. Whereas with vegan burgers, you can have black bean burgers, you can have chickpea burgers, you have pea protein burgers, you can have seitan burgers, you can have any kind of burger. Vegans have a lot more options. And a lot of our options are healthier. Yeah, so a baby drinking their breast milk is still vegan because the mother is consensually giving her breast milk to her baby. That's what that milk is for. So yeah, that is vegan. Veganism is not against, you know, even the consumption of animals. It's about the exploitation. When you use someone, when you go to the store, when you go to a friend's house and you accept these animal products, you're putting in what's called a demand. And when you put in a demand, you're literally saying, I want the next individual to be put in that system so that you can replace what I have taken. So if you go to a friend's house, for example, and you accept eating ground beef or whatever, or a chicken or eggs, milk, you're saying, that was delicious, I enjoyed that. They're going to want to make you happy again. They're going to replace that and give it to you again. You see how that demand works? You have a lot of power. You know, lambs are just babies. So you're literally saying baby burger. You know, humans are called long pig. Supposedly humans taste like bacon. Does that mean now that it's moral to farm humans and make baby bacon? I don't even miss regular burgers at all. Like, when you say regular, I understand you mean animal flesh, but that's not, no, there's nothing regular about it. It's pretty extreme that we make products out of somebody's flesh. Gross. It's really disturbing, really. There's a movie called Legend. It's one of Tom Cruise's first films. He's like in his 20s. And it has also Tim Curry. Tim Curry, he's the devil. And there's a scene where you see the devil's kitchen, and they have humans laying on a table that these demons are butchering. And oh my gosh, like, it looks freaky as hell. It's scary. When I saw it, I was a child, so it gave me nightmares. But you know, when I look at it now, I'm like, it's literally our kitchens. It's literally our farms. And we display these scenes in movies like they're horror. But yet when it comes to animals, we're like, oh, they can't be victims. But if we see someone kicking an animal, then they're a victim. You see how it's just inconsistent. I love Tim Curry too. He's fantastic. Yeah, he's such a great actor. I loved him in probably everything I've seen him in. Yeah, it was a great movie. Legend. There's two different versions. I personally like the tangerine orange version, which I think is the European version. The American version has like a orchestra. It's okay. It's okay. Actually, the orchestra one has way more context in it, but the other one, the music is just way better. It's creepy. I love it. Yeah, so Michael, what I'm trying to say is, what's the morally relevant difference between humans and animals, right? When you cut an animal, it hurts them. If you cut a human, it hurts them. They both would like to avoid that. So then what justifies doing it anyway? All right, so egg on the internet. Why don't you like hit that link that I put in the chat and come on over here to TikTalk. Come talk to us. We're having great conversation. I would love to know your perspective. What is this trait that makes humans so superior? And it means that we can ignore the fact that others care about what happens to themselves. What is that? Why are animals so inferior? Is it just because they're so stupid? Is it because they're so differently shaped? They have different parents? Is it because they don't think about the same things as you? They don't look like you? Like, how do you choose how to respect someone? Is it based off of arbitrary traits? Or is it just the fact that there's somebody in there that cares about what's happening to themselves? Just because you're superior doesn't mean that the person that's inferior, wow, guys, doesn't mean the one that's inferior doesn't care about what's happening to themselves. Just because I can't speak, right, doesn't mean you have the rights to do what you want to me. Because you know how to, say your words more clearly. Yeah, it is not. So the issue when it comes to abortion is that people aren't demanding that they get pregnant to just go get an abortion. That's not how that works. How it works is somebody is having a medical condition that they need to speak to their doctor about. And they decide on what is best. That's all it is. So it's a medical condition and you're trying to put your hands in someone else's body. It's just not necessary. And to say that someone that you don't even know has to give birth to someone because they're occupying their uterus is to say that that individual who's pregnant is not a person, but just a vessel. And their body is not theirs. Their body is belongs to whoever is occupying the uterus. That's ridiculous. If you're in my body and I don't consent to you being there, I don't care that I was sleeping with somebody. I don't care. That's not consenting to having someone in my belly. If you're in my body and I do not consent to it, adios. Goodbye. See ya. Ciao. It's that simple. But that's my opinion. It has nothing to do with veganism. The real issue is if you care about if you care about abortion, you're strongly for or against it, but you yourself are not vegan, you're going against your own values, but you're preaching to other people actively. You're currently taking either someone's sentience away or you're violating someone's autonomy. When you use animals, you're violating their autonomy. You're taking away their sentience. So maybe you need to grapple with that first. I mean, my rage bait isn't working if it is rage bait because I only got 10 people in here. You know, tappity tap, guys. Let's tappity tap. I see somebody's tapping, though. I really appreciate you. It's not that I don't see that. But if we want to get some people in here, we do have to tappity tap the heart if you're over on YouTube. But come on over here to TikTok if you're not vegan. Come on over here. I want to talk to you. And same thing over here on TikTok. Tappity tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Share and like. Let's get some people in here. If I need to, I'll restart again, I guess. I know you are. Thank you, Lori. I can see it too. Thank you. Yeah, you've already, gosh, you guys have gotten it pretty high. It's already 5,000 with so few people. I don't know. Maybe today is just not the day. Well, you know, let me take a second then to, oh, okay. I see someone popping up here. Hey, Ace, are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
Oh, sorry. I don't want to see your camera. You can unmute. I just don't want anybody turning their cameras on.
My bad. So, I was wondering, like, why you put like a white woman next to the chicken? Why can't every race is also an animal?
Yeah. Am I supposed to give her like multiple colored skin or something?
No, I'm just saying, like, even like you know, like.
It's not a race thing. I didn't mute you.
So
okay.
So the Africans also eat monkeys, and like, there's people in the comments that say like they're eating their cousins.
Okay. I don't care what people are saying in the comments. Why aren't you vegan?
I'm not vegan because that's not the society we live in, you know?
So
I think it's a
if you
societal
lived in
thing.
a society where human slavery was more common, would you then think it's moral to own a slave?
Oh, no.
Right. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what society we're in. We can still see that an action is immoral and make change.
But you know that chickens also like eat like other animals that are dead.
Maybe we should start there.
Veganism, isn't that like not eating meat?
No, that's vegetarianism.
What's veganism?
So vegetarianism is a diet. Veganism is an ethical stance against exploiting others. So I don't want to demand others be exploited for me if I can avoid demanding that.
So you're saying like mass raise of like animals?
I'm saying
like
I don't want to,
nope,
even just one individual. If you're raising a single chicken to sell eggs, I will not support you because you're enslaving that chicken to be an egg slave.
What if like the chicken is because what if the chicken?
Do you know what sentience is?
No, what is that?
It means the ability to have a subjective experience, to have your own unique experience of the world. Do you understand that humans are sentient?
Of course, they have their own unique of the world.
Do you know that other animals are also sentient?
People don't tend to look at it like that in the Western world.
Do you understand?
In Africa?
No, you're not answering me. Do you?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. So you understand that animals are having their own experience of the world and want to avoid suffering.
Oh yeah, of course. That's why I think like most animals are Muslim.
Animals they don't have a religion. They don't follow human construct. So they have their own morality, but they don't, I wouldn't say that any animal is Muslim because they don't understand human constructs.
So like so sentient, so you believe animals are sentient too. So like how do you know that they don't have death as part of their reality?
I didn't say that. I said that they don't have a religion, like they're not a specific human religion. You said that they're Muslim, and I'm saying that's silly.
Okay, but I'm saying like, so as a part of like animals' religion, so do you think they is like living life to the fullest and then dying old? Is that like?
No, I don't. I think they think I want to have another good experience.
Oh, so like another good experience would be.
Stop. So when we look at other humans, let's say there are humans that I would say are not as cognizant as the animals we use. Do you think that we should exploit those humans because they're unaware?
I don't think so.
Why?
Because they're aware.
So I said they're not aware of their surroundings. Should we exploit them? They're still sentient.
I think we created a world where like they are
Do you
aware of
think
their
that we should
surroundings.
exploit them?
I think they still do that in other parts of the
think
world.
that we should exploit them?
No, I think all living things are created
So
equally.
you do not think that we should exploit humans just because they're not as conscious?
Yes, you're right.
So then what is it about animals that justifies stabbing them but not humans?
I think like is exploitation.
No. What is it about animals that makes it okay to stab them but not okay to stab humans? Why is it okay to do this to
I think
them?
humans put themselves like
Why is it
as
okay
gods.
to stab animals?
I think human like put themselves as
Why
gods.
do
That's why
you
they.
think it's okay to demand animals be stabbed?
Me personally, like when I was born, I didn't know like
Why do you right
anything about
now?
killing.
Right now, do you use animals?
Right now, I'm not a
Do
farmer
you eat
or I'm not.
animals? Do you wear them?
Yes,
Okay, so
at
right
a fast
now you're
food.
demanding that animals be stabbed. Why do you think that's okay?
I don't think it's okay
Okay, so why do you keep doing it?
because that's what is already set up.
So you don't stand for your own principles, you just do what everyone else does?
I'm trying to get out of the matrix of it, but
Okay, so you
impossible.
don't want to exploit animals?
I don't want to.
Okay, so it would be preferable for you if you could get everything you needed without using animals?
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that.
Okay. So, what is it then that you think you still need from them that's holding you back?
Oh, nothing at all. I believe like nature offers all.
Okay. So, is
Like
it just
yeah.
that because you said that it's the surrounding society, is it just social pressures? You're worried that people are not going to accept you?
No, it's like the structures, like roads, cars,
What does that have to do with anything?
because they disturb the natural order of things where animals
So
should be animals and plants.
veganism is just about your demand. So you can use the roadways, you can still participate in society. It's just that when you have the options between not demanding someone's exploitation and demanding it, you should not. That's all we're saying. I'm not saying you need to be a monk that lives naked in the middle of the woods.
But that's what I'm saying, that's the natural order of
What
things.
is?
Abundance of fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
Because if we don't have abundance of fruits and vegetables within our
We
surrounding
do because we have to feed those animals. So we're already growing way more food. In fact, there's a study on this. It's called Reducing Food's Environmental Impacts Through Producers and Consumers. We're dedicating 83% of our agricultural land to them, and we're only getting 18% of our calories. So if we stop farming animals, we'll actually increase how many foods we can have, and at the same time, decrease how many crops we grow. I know that sounds weird.
Oh, you're right. You're very right on that. And I'm saying they do that because they want to profit off the animals. And I think it comes down to the people in high places, religion, or what
It comes
they
down to you.
follow.
You have a lot of power. And if you stop demanding animals be used, you can reduce the animals being born into existence by 100, maybe even 300, depending on how many you use right now, a year.
What if all my life I've been avoiding power? Where would that
It has
position me?
nothing to do with this. All this is saying, I'm going to move my hand in the grocery store. I'm just going to buy something else. I'm not going to buy the animal products. That's all it is.
So, someone in the comment section said cats eat tuna. Are
Again, it
they
doesn't matter. I'm
demanding?
talking about your actions and what you do.
So you only hold human accountable
Yes.
to veganism?
Yes.
Is it because they
No,
overexploited
it's because I can
the nature
communicate
of?
with you. You are a moral agent. I'm talking with you right now. You understand there are consequences to your actions. You need to be held accountable for your actions. Your actions right now are resulting in someone's death or their family being torn apart or just their autonomy being violated. So
You're right.
here's what I'm going to leave you with, because it sounds like you did receive what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I did
Go to
receive.
antianimaluse.org and click on the button that says see what you fund. There's a 3-minute movie there. It's literally 3 minutes. Watch through it and ask yourself, do I really feel comfortable giving my money to people that do this every day? And it just shows you that in the 3 minutes, they're showing you standard practice. This is just what happens in the industry, period.
What if you never value money too?
Again, that has nothing to do with this. Go to antianimaluse.org, okay, Ace? I really do appreciate you being up here. We're going to move on, though. All right, Chad. Are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
25.
Why aren't you vegan yet?
All right. So do you believe in free range?
Why aren't you vegan yet?
Oh, because I can't afford it.
Okay. So you can't afford a vegan diet, but you can afford free-range animal flesh.
No, I buy so I buy free range eggs,
That's way more expensive.
but I can't. I know it's expensive. That's why I can't afford being a
Well,
vegan.
stop buying the eggs, and then you can.
I mean, it's so expensive to be vegan.
What tells you that?
Because when I go to the store and I try to buy like vegan like products,
okay.
it's like
Don't buy those.
10 times the
Don't buy
amount.
those. Maybe buy beans, rice, local in-season fruits and vegetables, frozen fruits and vegetables, canned fruits and vegetables.
That's so expensive, though.
Chad, you're lying. I don't talk to liars.
I'm not lying.
I
It's
don't
expensive.
talk to liars. I actually have evidence of this, and you're lying. You're lying. Beans and rice are so cheap. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. Moving on. You can find the cheapest foods, be healthy and vegan. Hey, Courtney, are you over 18? Hello? Oh, okay. Justin? Hey, are you over 18?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Why aren't you vegan yet?
Before we get into that, can you tell me why I should
We're
be
not
vegan?
going to get into
So we
that.
have a
I need you to answer my question, and then we'll move forward. This is my live.
Oh,
Why aren't you vegan?
well, I'm not vegan because I enjoy my meat.
Okay.
Pause. But I enjoy eating meat.
Veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. I personally think that we shouldn't exploit each other based off arbitrary traits. Do you agree?
I somewhat agree.
So in what case is it okay to use an arbitrary trait to use someone's body without their consent? What trait is that, and when is that the case?
You're using someone.
What's the
instead of-
trait?
Are we still talking
What's
about
the
animals or
trait?
someone?
Can you name it for me, please?
Well, I'm confused.
Yeah,
'cause
clearly.
We're talking about using
So
animals.
what is the trait difference between other animals and humans that justifies poking animals with sharp objects, but not doing that to humans? Please name the trait.
Animals aren't self-aware.
Some humans are not
Mostly
self-aware. Should we
self-aware as
exploit
humans.
them?
Why do you think humans
So
aren't
if
self-aware?
some humans are not self-aware, should we exploit them?
What
If
humans
humans
wouldn't
are
be
not
self-aware?
self-aware, should we exploit them? This is your third chance. If you can't answer it, I'm kicking you.
No,
Thank you.
we shouldn't.
I agree. So then what is the morally relevant difference between that group of humans and the other animals that we use that justifies stabbing the other animals, but not the humans that we described?
Okay, there's a regular human
No,
eating
you're not
another
hearing
human.
me. I said the human that we just described. What is the morally relevant difference between them and the animals we use that justifies exploiting animals, but not that person?
Because we're eating animals, not humans. We're not
Okay.
cannibals.
Well, you have a good day. You clearly are not tracking. There is no morally relevant difference. You just keep saying that humans are eating animals, but humans are animals. So kind of technically you're saying humans eat humans? You saying that's moral? Yeah, that's confusing, right? I know. Justin, you're so confusing. Maybe get your thoughts straight. Yes, M. Grant? Are you over 18?
Yes,
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I just haven't made the decision.
Okay. Do you know what veganism means?
I do not. Not veganism. I understand what it means to be vegan.
Okay. It's an ethical stance against the exploitation of other beings. So I think that we shouldn't exploit each other based off of arbitrary traits. Do you agree?
We shouldn't exploit each other. What is
Exploit
that
means
term of trait?
Exploit means to use someone unfairly for your benefit.
I understand that, but the trait terminology you use, what is that?
Yeah, so what is it that's different between human animals and other animals that would justify what we do to other animals?
Yeah, I mean, your question, why I haven't decided to be, I think a lot of it is, for a lot of people as well, is just a social norm.
Okay, so when slavery was a social norm, should people have just kept enslaving people because it was uncomfortable to talk about it?
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
So then,
I'm just answering the question, but I am curious on the health side because I know there are arguments around.
Okay,
health
just to be clear,
benefits.
I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian, and I would suggest that you seek one of them out specifically. But I can tell you what I do.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what's your question?
No, I mean, my question was mainly, to be able to apply a thought process on, okay, is this something that I should do?
Well, if you were the victim, if you were being used for someone's
the
nutrition,
health sides of
right?
things.
If you were the victim and you were being used for someone's nutrition, how would you feel? Would you want them to figure out how to eat alternatives or keep using you?
Yeah, I would want them to figure out how to use alternatives, but I think it's very complex. I don't know
Again,
much
if you were
about
the
it,
victim,
but
what would you want
just
done?
listening to the live, I would want them to figure out an alternative. But I'd also be curious as to if billions of people applied the alternative, what would be
A greener planet,
the new dynamic? Are there going to be
a more fair
millions of
planet?
bugs dying? Then
Nope, actually fewer, because we grow more plants to feed the animals we use. So if we stop farming animals, we'll actually reduce our ag land use by 75% and still feed 10 billion humans. That's the land equivalency.
Yeah, but there are many
That's the land
processes that kill off a
equivalency
lot
of North America and
insects.
South America combined. So again, if we reduce how many crops we're growing, that reduces how many bug deaths there are.
I see. So you're saying if everybody were to switch to veganism, with the new processes that would have to be established with farming and all of this, there would be no insect deaths?
We could definitely make it so that was the case. Yeah. We could improve crop farming. You cannot remove the exploitation from farming sentient beings.
Yes, but I mean, I've heard a lot of arguments.
So why do you think it's okay to deliberately demand that someone be born into existence just for you to use?
No, I don't think that it's okay.
Do you understand the difference? Do you understand the difference of someone driving down the road and accidentally hitting someone versus someone driving down the road purposely running down everyone they see?
Yeah, but as farming
So when you
crops for
farm crops,
veganism
your goal is
and
not to, yep, see,
unintentionally killing,
what was my example? Please reiterate what my example was.
driving down the road and killing somebody.
Okay, there was more to it. Do you remember all the details?
No,
do
not
you see a
necessarily.
difference in someone driving down the road and someone stepping in front of them, right? It's an accident, versus someone driving down the road purposely running that person down. Do you see a difference in those two scenarios, or are they the exact same to you?
I mean, it depends on how you frame it. I
You're
think
a
that it's
liar.
different. It's different
Fucking
how you
liar.
framed it.
Fucking liar. Get off my panel. There's absolutely a difference between someone driving down the road and accidentally hitting someone versus someone driving down the road and deliberately running someone over. There is a difference. We can improve our crop farming, right? It's incidental. It's not inherent, right? Those farmers actually would prefer that those bugs are not there. They'd prefer those animals don't enter their crops. It's annoying for them. They don't like it. We can stop farming animals, right? That's our first line, greatly reduce the harm we have on these animals, as we already covered. But on top of that, we would increase the land that would be rewilded, given back to the wild animals so that they don't encroach on human land. They have all the resources they need. That's America and South America combined, giving back to them. We can also improve their habitats, make walls, right? We can figure out how to grow indoors. We would greatly reduce how much land we need to grow on. So it's possible. There's also veganic farming. We can do it, guys. We have the tech. You know what's in our way? Rich people. Those rich people are doing what you demand. You keep telling them to hold us back by using animals. This is your fault. If you use animals, this is your fault. We could be progressing to a healthier planet, have way more room for everybody, and also be just a fair planet for all sentient beings. Most humans actually agree, most moral agent humans agree with me that you shouldn't kick a dog for fun, because that dog's suffering matters more than the joy or exercise or any benefit that you get from that, right? I'm just saying, when you take their head off, you're escalating the violence for taste pleasure. Even more trivial. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. YouTube, how's it going over here? Appreciate y'all being here. Having anybody rough to talk to? Exactly. Cows are mammals. They lactate for their babies, not for humans. But when you use animals for steak and for their flesh and their flesh, I was reading steak and chicken, which is just flesh and flesh. When you use them for their flesh, right, you're taking away that there was someone there who cared about what happened to themselves. Yeah, exactly. Veganism is about not exploiting sentient beings. If you're not vegan and you think that you have this smash argument that's so great, why don't you come up here and request up? Let's have a little chat. All right, hearts. Make sure you're liking and sharing the live, please. So we can get some people in here. I appreciate y'all being here. Oh, is this just an old request? All right, you might have to come back. J-Rod. Hey, are you over 18? Are you over 18? Right.
Definitely.
So why aren't you vegan yet?
So I'm not vegan because I'll explain that. But can I ask one question first? Because this goes with what you were just saying.
As long as you're going to answer the question, because I want to start out with that.
Absolutely. I will.
Okay, go ahead.
So we were just talking about like driving and hitting people. So like
incidental
I'm not
versus
vegan.
Like inherent.
I eat everything. Sure. But my question is like a shark. Is it happy to eat a seal?
Is a shark a
or
moral
is that just
agent?
the way nature works? Well, that's relative. I don't speak
So what was
shark,
my
so
car
they could be.
example? Was it a shark driving?
You said if
Was
someone
it a
hits
child
someone,
driving?
well, it's relative to nature. Sharks can't drive,
Sharks
right?
are
So like,
not moral
if
agents.
you're
I
driving
just
down the
answered
road and
it.
you accidentally hit someone
Sharks,
versus doing
it'd
it
be
on
like a
purpose,
child driving down the road.
how
They're
so?
not a moral agent. Do you know what? Do you
What do
know
you
what?
mean though?
What's a
What is
moral? A
a
moral
moral
agent
agent?
is
Can you
somebody
explain?
who knows that there are consequences to their actions and can be held accountable.
Yeah, but sharks aren't held accountable.
They're
It's
not.
different. I guess you could argue that there's no moral agent, right? So for humans, if I eat a cow, am I happy to eat the
You
cow? Is it out of
are a
violence?
moral agent.
But everybody has
You
different morals.
are
It's
a
relative.
moral agent.
You're
Yes,
repeating
because I
yourself. I
don't
heard
think you're
you.
understanding. You're like, this non-moral agent, you're literally saying, this child killed someone, so I should be allowed to kill someone.
All right. So are plants conscious or
Wow, you
sentient?
moved on from that fast. So do you want to concede?
Because I
Can you
feel like
tell
you
me?
just want to argue a
Oh,
little
okay.
bit.
Well, then you can go cry in the chat. I don't really care to fight you. You knew that you're wrong, so you pivoted, and it was kind of funny to watch. So you can go cry about your hurt fifis. No, plants don't have feelings. You're ignorant for thinking plants are sentient. That's hilarious. Like you walk over grass and you cry. Get out of here, liar. If you cared about plants, you wouldn't raise animals. Who eats more plants, a cow or a human? You're silly. You're silly. What is silly? Hey,
I love eating
big vegan burgers, and I cannot lie. That's right. I'm right there with you. I don't like your name. It's just gross. You guys, let me reiterate before we move on what veganism is. Veganism is very similar to abolition to human slavery. There were abolitionists in the 1800s and 1700s that were advocating to abolish human slavery. They would stand on corners and talk to people and say, why are you doing this? These individuals care about what they care about their families, they care about their autonomy. They deserve to be free just like any other sentient being. So we're here as abolitionists speaking up for those other beings, those other people that are enslaved right now that you lick the insides of. That's why I'm here. I'm here to tell you, you don't need to lick their insides. There's nothing inside of them that you can't get from other sources. We could farm humans and get all the nutrients that a growing human body would need. Does that morally justify farming humans? It doesn't. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to tell you these animals care about what happens to themselves. And yeah, you can justify anything in necessity. If you're in an extreme situation or maybe a self-defense situation, it's understandable that you might take someone's life to protect yourself or to protect your food, right? That's what crop deaths comes down to, is it's actually a self-defense to preserve our foods. I have to eat something. I would prefer that the farmers do better methods instead of taking their lives. There's a lot of things you can do to deter animals from coming in, but they take money and time. And I know our systems are not set up to support our farmers. Many of them are stuck in contracts with large corporations, so they don't even get a say in how they farm. So I understand that too. But there's actually solutions for even the farmers. There's Viva Farming Project. There's the Ranchers Advocacy Program, which I really highly suggest for people. It's run by Renee from Rowdy Girl Sanctuary. And there was one other one, Transformation. And all these groups, what they do is they help those that are using animals on their land and help them transition to something else, using their land for something else. Like agrotourism, maybe growing mushrooms, whatever is better, what is best suited for them, right? And their land. So there's solutions for everybody. But the thing is, even if we didn't have solutions for the farmers, we didn't have a solution for slave owners. Should we have considered that more? Or did those enslaved people deserve freedom immediately? That's what we're saying for the animals. They deserve immediate liberation. Right? They don't want to be used just like you don't want to be used. That's all we're saying. They care about what happens to them. All right, guys, let's go ahead and bring up the next guest. Neoblade, are you over 18?
I'm 18. I think I've spoken to you before.
Okay. Why
However,
aren't you
like
vegan?
you're still vegan. You're still eating this vegetables mush, but you should be eating like some chicken drumsticks, some lobster, delicious. Because lobster, seafood boil, they season it
What do they
to the
season it with?
bone, and they season it with like Cajun pepper,
Season it with plants.
garlic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plants
good
make
stuff.
things taste better. So you know
And
what you can
then
do? Instead of seasoning someone's body, you can season tofu. You can season beans. You can season anything else that wasn't a sentient being. So why not do that instead?
because the texture of meat
So
is
I want
different
to
to
eat your
plants.
body because your muscle has a specific texture. Do you think that's fair? Do
Humans,
you
if
think
you were
that's
to eat
fair,
my
yes or
body,
no? Why?
no, because you can get a
Oh, you think
disease
it's
if you
not
decide to do
fair
that.
for me to eat you?
You get a disease, you'll be hurting your.
Neo, I'm going to drop you. You don't sound like you're actually up to the challenge. You said it wouldn't be fair because I would get sick. Do you understand what fair means? Maybe you should say it to yourself. It's not fair because she would get sick. Doesn't that sound silly? I don't think you were thinking right. It's unfair because you want to live. You didn't consent to me taking your life. That's why. Hello. Are you over 18?
I
I
love
love
eating.
eating vegan stuff too. It's so good. I totally agree. Vegan food for the win. I don't talk to schmazzies, so you can just F off. Thank you. Someone had a concerning name. Gamer, are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm
All right,
26.
so why aren't you vegan yet?
So I wanted to attack this kind of from a different angle. I'm not vegan personally, but rather one thing I do support because I acknowledge that with veganism, there's a lot of environmental positives, like from reducing, methane in the air.
Well, what's
from,
veganism mean?
Veganism is not using animal
It is not
products.
actually. Veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. So inherent values of sentient beings are up here, environment's right here.
I think both of them kind of go hand in hand.
I would
though.
never
My big thing is
enslave anyone in the name of making the environment better. Do you think that would be moral?
well, I'm not saying
So you
I'm
do
not
agree with
saying
me
that
that
like
inherent sentient rights are up here. The right to not be enslaved comes first before the environment, right?
well, what
Yes or
I'm
no?
saying is that like well, the environment is more
Wow.
important
So
to
you
like
think we should
keep
enslave
everything
humans for the
alive.
environment?
I'm not
Okay, so
saying
then
anything
say,
about enslaving people.
should
My
we,
argument,
yes or no, should we enslave humans for the environment?
we
Okay,
shouldn't. But what
so then you
I'm not
do
saying that we
agree
should
that
enslave cows for
I
the
want to be
environment. I'm saying
clear, you agree their inherent rights come before the environment. Do you agree?
I guess if you're putting it into a binary,
Thank you.
but my argument was more so to like push for lab grown meat,
I
dairy,
don't care
butter,
about
stuff
that.
like that
You
because
eat
it is
whatever
a
you want, just leave sentient beings out of it. If you want to eat lab grown stuff, that's great,
what
but you don't have to.
well
You
what
can
I'm
eat other things.
well, but the argument I'm making is more so that you
I
should
don't
push
no,
for lab
gamer,
grown
look,
meat
you
as
can't come up
someone on a
here.
platform
Look, you
because
can't come up here not knowing what veganism means and tell me how to advocate. You don't even know what veganism is. I'm not here talking about the environment. If you want to go talk about the environment, you can go live and talk about the environment. That's totally great. I'm not here to talk about the environment. I'm asking, why do you think it's okay to violate someone's rights right now, this very day? Why do you think it's okay to go to the store, pick up a package, and say, I want more of these animals to be chopped up into bits? Why is that okay? You're muted. I can't hear you.
because what I'm saying is that it is a better message, in my opinion.
Well, you can cry about it in the chat. I don't care about your better message. You're not even vegan. I don't think you're listening. You just want to hear yourself talk on someone else's platform. I don't care about the environment. Did you get it? Inherent rights, environment. I understand that you've got this confused, but I guarantee that if you were the one to be enslaved for the environment, you would not approve. You'd think it's unfair. That's all I'm saying. It's not fair. If you wouldn't tolerate it, why are you forcing other people to go through that? Yes, animals are people. Suck on that. Animals are someone. How triggered are you now? Someone. They are a someone. They are. They're a someone, guys. Animals are someone. They're people. They're people. They're nations of people. They care about what happens to them. They care about what happens to their family, right? I can't tell you how many non-vegans I've had come up here and say, oh, but what animals? They don't eat their own kind. Okay, so we do recognize that they do see their own species. They are a people. Yeah, they're a people and a someone. And you know what? What really matters to them is what happens to them. It's that simple. It's really that simple. All right, next guest. Go watch Christspiracy if you really care about the Bible.
Hello?
Hi, 6L. Are you over 18? Oh, it's very loud.
I'm at 18. I'm at 18.
It is very loud where you're at. You need to be somewhere quieter. Can you go somewhere quieter? I just couldn't handle all the noise. Oh, that's much better.
Neurologically, right? If, per se, like, oh, okay, I get you're vegan. I respect all that, right? But, like, me personally, I'm not vegan. I mean, I've tried it. I mean, it's just personally not for me. My defense is, per se, you're in some environment, right? And there's a top predator
I want to be clear that I will answer your hypothetical, but I want to know about why you specifically are not vegan. But I'll answer your hypothetical, okay?
Why I'm not vegan is because last time I tried it, it ended up making me go like, I don't know, I was real sluggish, didn't really want to do much.
How long were you trying?
I went for roughly about almost 3 months.
Why did you do it?
And me personally, like it just wasn't for me. I mean, I get that
Why
some
did you
people
do
are
it?
vegan. I do respect it. Why did I do it? Because I wanted to see what it was
So
like.
you don't have the right motivation.
Kinda
You
testing around with
probably
it.
didn't eat enough, or you didn't eat enough of the right things. Did you? Because if you genuinely wanted to be vegan,
Oh
hold
no,
on.
my diet
If you
was pretty
genuinely
clean.
wanted to be vegan, you could have sought out help. Could have talked to a nutritionist or a dietitian.
I mean, well, another thing is so do
Yeah, there's
bodybuilding. I
bodybuilders that are
lift. I
vegan.
do all that. I mean, so like,
Yeah, there's Nimai Delgado.
I mean,
Has
yeah,
never
I
eaten
get
an
that.
animal in his life. He's a bodybuilder and a coach. Terry Washington. He
But my
actually does shows. He's fucking ripped. Patrick Baboumian actually went into the strongman competitions. He looks like an ox.
My personal defense is, right, so per se, like, you come in across a top predator, right? Which is going to kill you first? You're either going to kill it or it's either going to kill
Okay.
you. Because if you don't kill it, it's going
Is
to
that
turn you
happening
into
when you
its
go
own
into the
personal
grocery
dinner.
store?
No, but it can. Yeah, I mean, it just depends.
You think
you never
that
know.
a predator is gonna pounce
could
you
be
in
it.
the grocery store? You think, or do you think that you're the
I never said
predator
a
and you're
predator.
chasing down the flesh that's in the freezer?
I mean, well,
Do you like?
neurologically,
Do you like use your
if you
claws
really
to?
think about
Do
it,
you
the
get into
human
there in the
species
package
at the
with your
top.
claws and like, ah? Hey, you're the
Bro.
one that's saying that you're a predator. I don't know if you even want that title. You know, when we call humans
put it like-
predators, we're not complimenting them.
I put it this way. So neurologically, right?
I don't think you know what you're talking about when you say neurologically. What does that mean?
Lady,
What
I
does
swear,
that
bro.
mean? What do you mean by
Lady,
neurological?
Lady, I swear. Put it this way,
I'm
like
done talking to you. Neurologically speaking. Yeah, you sound like you're real educated.
Yo,
Hi,
what's
Bryce. Are
poppin'?
you over 18? Okay. Why aren't
Yeah.
you vegan yet?
I don't know. I was like meat.
Do you know what veganism means?
Y'all don't like kill animals. Y'all don't eat them. Y'all don't fight. Y'all don't use byproducts of them. Nothing like
That
that.
is a side effect, but that's not what veganism means. Veganism is actually an ethical stance against the exploitation of other sentient beings. So I think that we shouldn't exploit each other based off of arbitrary traits like race, sexual orientation, or species.
I mean, but like we're on top of the food chain,
So you
right?
think might makes right?
And like,
So
what was
in
that?
your mind, might makes right is a moral guideline.
I mean, yeah, but like you were
Dude.
saying, like animals, like earlier, someone
Oh my
mentioned.
God. Might makes right then says that human slavery is okay. Might makes right says that child labor is okay. Marrying minors is okay. Silly. Might makes right is not moral. And you only think it is right now because you're the oppressor gaining the benefits. Oof. No, I don't want to
How you
talk to you.
doing?
That's a terrible name. Sorry. No, thank you. 301. Are you over 18? Hey, are you over 18? No, you're not. Oh, wait. I don't know if I want to talk to you. Noob, I feel like we've spoken before. Are you vegan? Oh, okay, yeah, we've spoken
No.
before. 6, are you over 18?
Yes, I
All right,
am.
why
I'm
aren't you
21.
vegan yet?
Bitch, I'm gonna eat your fucking pets, you stupid nigger, bitch. I'm
I
gonna
think
eat
you
your.
just relayed how intelligent you are, so thank you for that. Rocco, are you over 18? Hello? Rocco, are you there? I hear my echo. Okay. John, are you over 18?
Yeah, the chicken I just fucked, I'm eating it right now, you stupid
Okay.
bitch.
Again, showing your real colors there. You're a great person, it sounds like. Cody, are you over 18?
Yes,
All right,
I
so
am. Sorry.
why aren't you vegan yet? Okay. Noob, if you're not vegan, if we've spoken before, I don't want to talk to you again because you're just here to like put me through the circles. It's like I don't really care to play vegan bingo with someone who's already had the conversation. Okay, I'll bring you up. I'm almost sure that we've had a conversation. Okay, why aren't you vegan?
Mainly because of the health factors that
Like
go
what?
into it. Well, there's a lot of factors that go into it, like bone density. You're also going to be physically
What's your
weaker and
evidence?
everything else like that. My evidence is, for instance, websites with .gov. I think there was once along the lines. Hold up, I can get the website. National Institutes of Health .gov is where I
you
got a
need to
few of my
name the study
information.
though. That's just like a library of information. You need
study?
to give me the actual study that says if you go vegan, you're going to lose bone density and you're not going to be healthy.
This one is an overall overview of everything. It goes into some of the benefits and it goes into a lot
So
of the downsides.
we have.
It's
do you know
overall.
what?
It's called the impact of
the
veganism
Academy
diet.
of Nutrition and Dietetics? They're the
No, not
largest
exactly.
body of nutrition and dietitians in the world, and they advise governments on their food pyramids. And they've stated many times that a vegan diet, if well planned, is safe and healthy for all stages of life. You can meet every need you need. So that's my point. Since you can get everything you need, what is the moral justification for using animals?
Okay, so with me, I think only certain animals should not be killed if they're highly intelligent. Comparing us to a chicken that literally is, dude, it's literally considered one of the dumbest
So
animals
if
on this
someone
planet.
is dumb, can we
It's a
exploit
bit
them?
iffy. Well,
If
they're not
someone is
completely dumb
dumb,
because
can
they're
I
obviously
exploit
skilled
them?
enough to
Nope.
do math. They're
No.
skilled
Noob.
enough to do
Noob.
science.
Noob.
They're skilled
I
enough.
don't think you understand.
Unless they're
Noob.
like disabled.
Yes, there are people not able to do math. Should we be able to exploit them? Right. So then what is the
No.
morally relevant difference between humans that can't do math, that aren't sapient, but sentient? But what is the morally relevant difference between sentient humans, not sapient, but sentient, and the animals that we use, the other animals? What's the morally relevant difference?
Well, with that argument, too, as a whole, the human race is a whole.
What is the morally relevant difference between that human and the animals we use?
The animal doesn't have the level of consciousness.
Okay, so what if we have or a human that has the same cognition as a cow? Are we allowed then to farm this human?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? There is no morally relevant
here's the thing.
difference. You have to go to arbitrary traits. You pivoting to an intelligence that is specifically the type of intelligence you have, right? That's just like a person who's white saying, my race is better because I'm white. You're saying humans are better because I think like this. Do you not hear how that's another ism?
Well,
do animals
once again,
care what happens to
primarily
themselves?
not vegan. Well, when it comes down to it, animals don't really even know.
Do animals
that
care what happens to
at
themselves?
all or anything like that?
Do animals care what's happening to themselves? It doesn't actually.
It
we have
depends on the
evidence that
animal.
they're sentient. If you're sentient, you care about what happens to you.
Well,
What
for
is
instance,
sentience?
a fish, most of the time, sentience is a feeling. I believe it's the feelings.
Yeah, it's the ability to have feelings. Did you know that fish have feelings? They do.
No,
Go Google it. Are
actually
fish
don't.
sentient?
So technically, with fishes,
I appreciate that you call them fishes.
They actually are
That's
missing
actually
a
a good
lot.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That recognizes
Yeah,
that there's
no,
multiples
I mean,
versus,
I guess.
just having a word that means all of them are one. I'm going off topic. But some people talk about how our language is important, right? And if we say fish, we're not saying that this is an individual, we're saying it's a group. And that can take away their individuality, as we see fish as almost alien. But we have evidence that they care about what happens to themselves. When they suffer, when they feel pain, they change their behaviors and try to soothe themselves. That means they care what happens to themselves. When you hook them, right, they fight like hell because they want to live. That's their sentience. They're making a preference. I prefer to keep living. Regardless of if they know math, regardless if they know what a freeway is, right, they still care what happens to them. That's what matters.
I mean, yeah, that's a fair point. Fishes, but I will say this: fishes actually don't really. A lot of fishes tend to not have the
They
actual
do. They have
neural,
nociception.
actual
They have
nerves
nociception.
to.
They feel pain. As soon as they're pulled out of the water, they stress. Yes, we
not
do.
entirely.
No, we have
I get where you're
evidence
coming-
of
For
this.
other
Noob.
animals,
There's
I will
evidence of
say
this.
that.
Fish feel pain and they suffer.
New master. But yeah, no. So when it comes to fishes,
You keep
they
making
they
these
are
claims,
lacking
but you're just
severely in a
making
lot
things
of.
up. You have no evidence.
Not entirely. Not entirely.
I'm not going to waste my time with you just talking about your assumptions. You need to go research what you're saying, because you're literally stealing someone's life over just an epiphany that you think you had. But you need to know the evidence. If you're going to violate someone's body, you better have a goddamn good reason, right? Mr. Clean, come on up. Hey, are you over 18?
Are you Christian?
You're not over 18, that's for sure. Hold on a second. Block. All right. Oh, hey Keith. I'll bring you up for a second, but I'm not having vegans up. Hey, what's up? Yeah,
Are you
right?
Christian?
Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. There's no religion out there that tells you have to use animals. So, like, I don't care how silly your religion is, but, you know, if it says that you have to use animals, that is a terrible God. Yeah. How are you doing? I'm doing all right.
Pretty good. How are you?
I won't let any other vegans up, so it'll just be you. I hope that's okay. Okay, cool. I don't know. I seem to do better. I don't get as upset when I don't have a team behind me, so I like to get worked up when I have someone behind me. I'm like, yeah, no, I got backup. All right. Vague vet. I don't even know if I said that right. The vet. Are you over 18?
Yo, what's happening? Yeah.
All right, cool. Are you over 18? Okay, cool.
Yes.
So why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I value my
Okay.
health.
What do you think you need from animals that you can't get from other sources?
I mean, vitamin B specifically. I mean, sure, you could cherry pick a bunch of fucking plants and make it work, but it's not optimal. Would you agree with that?
What do you mean it's not optimal?
It's not an optimal diet.
Well, let's
It's not an
say
optimal
tomorrow, just hypothetically speaking, I'll answer your question, but hypothetically speaking, let's say you wake up tomorrow and find out you can get everything in the right amounts on a vegan diet. Would you then find it to be a moral obligation to be vegan? Okay. Well,
No.
maybe we'll start with that first, and then we can move on to the health stuff, because I don't want to spend forever on health and then have to go over whatever this other thing is. So health aside, let's say we find out you can get everything you need in the right amounts. What is it then that's holding you back from being vegan? Do you know what vegan means?
What do you mean health
What does
aside?
veganism
How can we
mean?
put that aside? I mean, that's the you don't consume anything that
That is a
comes
side
from
effect, but it's
animals.
actually an ethical stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. So out of principle, I think that we shouldn't exploit each other just based off arbitrary traits like race or sexual orientation, including species. I don't think that that's a morally relevant trait that justifies the difference in treatment. Do you agree?
I'm sorry, it was
Okay. Do
lagging.
you
I
think
couldn't hear
that
you.
it is moral to respect people based off of their skin color? Okay.
Yes.
Well, then you can just leave. I don't talk to racist bigots. Thank you. Oh my God. That was crazy.
I may have interpreted that wrong. I think he was saying like it's moral to like it would be the moral thing to not be bigoted against someone for their skin color. I don't know if I interpreted it wrong.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. He did sound very confident, and often that does mean they misunderstood. Oh, I see a couple other vegans. Oh, I just feel like, guys, I do better when I don't have a bunch of vegans on my panel. Maybe I don't know. I'll bring you guys up. I like you guys. I do get worked up, and sometimes it gets a little crazy. Oh, I thought I brought Lori up too. Hey, guys. No, it's fine, you guys. I really do like you guys. I just think that I get more excitable, I guess, when I have a team behind me. I'm like, nothing can get me down now. Well,
We're here to support.
You're amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Big time.
All right, let's bring up. Oh, this guy looks fun. Always with a fish in the profiles. Good time. Oh yeah.
Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
Stupid
Clearly,
bitch.
clearly intelligent.
Shut the fuck up.
Very.
That guy's like over 180.
An IQ.
He wasn't even the one that I
0.
clicked on. The one I clicked on must have disappeared. I clicked on a guy that had a fish in his profile, and he disappeared. Lilith, hi. Are you over 18?
I am over 18. Cool. Yes, I am over 18. So I just have a couple questions.
Okay.
I personally am not vegan. I do not care if people are vegan.
Why aren't you
That is
vegan?
completely fine with me. I think why am I not vegan? Okay, so I just have never had the personal confliction to become vegan because I enjoy the taste of meat. I like meat. I think it gives me nutrients that plants that I can't get around here give me. If there was ways to do it vegan and I were to get the nutrients that I can, I would possibly do it, but I'm going to be really honest, I'm an extremely picky eater. So that's a couple of the reasons
why. If you were the victim, if someone wanted to use your body for those same reasons, would you think that's fair?
I'm not.
What's the morally relevant difference?
I would actually like to. The morally
relevant difference.
Okay. I would consider that the fact that they don't have a human brain.
So
and they
how
don't
is
think,
that
and
any
I've
different from
that,
other in-group
if we did
thought?
That?
You're literally just saying, yeah,
right.
of course,
I knew
because
you were
a
gonna say
chicken
that.
cares
So,
what happens to themselves, right?
If a chicken
Does
is
a chicken
killed
care?
humanely, no, they don't. They wouldn't even know.
I appreciate that you think you're smart, but a chicken, when they're alive, cares about what happens to themselves, correct?
If they're
See how you can't
humanely,
answer
no,
my
they are
question? I was.
Do you know
See
the
how you are
definition of
literally
humane
giving me more
means?
questions so
Does
that you.
anybody else like to speak to her? Otherwise, I'm going to drop her. Oh,
I just
she
wanna
left.
know
I
if she
didn't
knows
drop
the-
her.
She dropped. She ran. She's a
Yeah, she
runner.
couldn't answer my question, which is the chicken cares what happens to them, and that's what's important. And she kept making jokes about after they're dead, and it's like, yeah, I understand when you're dead, you don't feel anything. You can say the same thing about people.
Right, and I just love how they always use the word humane. Look up the word humane in the dictionary. It might just surprise you.
Yeah, I'd also like to know how you humanely unalive 81
Yeah.
billion chickens per
How
year.
do you do that?
It sounds very compassionate
God,
and
that's so
benevolent.
many lives.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Like when we say these numbers, it's really hard to actually fathom seeing that many individuals standing in front of you, that are just cleaned off of the planet, just gone. It's insane what humans can accomplish. We can accomplish some really great things and some really horrific things. It's 92.2 billion is a lot of land animals, and then trillions of sea life. It's wild. Okay. Dijon mustard, come on down.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you guys doing?
Cool.
Yes, ma'am. I'm over 18. I just have one question. I'm
Can you
dying
answer
to
my
know.
question?
So, like,
Can you
forgive
answer
me
my
for my
question, then I'll
ignorance
answer.
here.
Okay.
Yeah, of
So why aren't you
course.
vegan?
I'm not vegan mainly because of the fact that I just want, like, I'm kind of ignorant when it comes to like the alternatives that vegans can have with over meat. So, like, how do you guys have like the same nutrients that meat eaters can
I
have?
just eat a whole food plant-based diet, or I'll take a supplement if I'm lazy and I'm eating junk food.
Okay, what type of supplements do you
I
take?
sometimes I'll take this complement one. It just has like a bunch of different stuff in it, but I don't take them every day. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on, let me take a
There's
screenshot
other
of that.
companies though. I don't want to say this is the only one.
Thank you. Would you
Sure.
mind if I ask my question? So as a whole, like, how do you guys like feel about like as a community as vegans combating people who have been eating meat for centuries now? Like, what is the ultimate like goal here? Because I know it's a personal thing and
more
it's
like,
more
what
like
do the
a
animals want?
personal thing to be vegan, and it's a
Well, that's all it
I
is.
get that.
What do the animals want?
But then how can like if I become vegan tomorrow, how would that change all the animals dying is what I'm initially asking. Because like I could be vegan and I could feel for the animals. And I understand because like in no way am I trying
It's
to
your
like belittle.
demand. If you take your
But
demand away, they don't breed as many animals into existence. Like if you don't buy their products, if no one buys the product, they're not going to keep making it. They're going to focus on the things you do buy.
yes, ma'am.
So if you,
Thank you
can
for that.
actually
I
prevent
appreciate you.
like up to 100 or 300 animals from being born into that system. It's a lot. I mean, imagine if I went to the Yulin Dog Festival, right? And I saved like a handful of dogs. I'd be hailed as a hero over here, right? Yeah. So you could do
Yeah.
more than that.
So what are the main foods that you find yourself eating, like that you think are like the main ones that you could eat every single day if I was to become a
Personally,
vegan tomorrow,
I kind
that you
of
would
I
recommend me
am
eating?
lazy, so just don't use me as a cookie cutter. There's so many recipes out there. What we do is we'll eat either rice or a rice-based pasta because we have that available to us, and often we'll eat tofu or tempeh in there, and then we'll also add in, I don't know, one or two other vegetables, whatever's in the fridge, and if we have maybe a marinara sauce. Yeah.
Sounds awesome. Thank you for answering all my questions, and I appreciate you for being respectful to me. And I'm sorry that you guys are dealing
It
with like
happens.
hella
I'm just kind of
assholes.
curious though, like in your mind, do you think you're gonna go vegan after this, or what is it that's holding you back?
I think it's just like incredibly difficult because like culturally, like I'm Puerto Rican, so a lot of our dishes like have meats and everything. So it would
You'd
kind of
be
be like a slap
surprised.
in the
There's
face,
actually
you know?
vegan Puerto Ricans, and they recreate traditional dishes just using other like beans or some other vegan alternative. I would challenge you to, even here on TikTok, look up your favorite dish, your most cultural favorite dish, and put the word vegan next to it. I guarantee somebody has made it, if not multiple different versions of it. Yeah.
It's
So
great.
let
Thank
me
you.
ask you two last hard questions. First, would you be willing to go to
Of course.
antianimaluse.org? Awesome. There's a 3-minute
Of
film
course.
in there. It just says it says see what you fund, and it's just a 3-minute film. Just shows you clips of Dominion, which is just a documentary that goes over standard practice. Would you be willing to watch that? Awesome.
Yeah, of course. Is there any way I could watch it while I'm on this
No,
live with you guys?
unfortunately,
Or
just because it also. But if you
all
do
right, then it's
watch it and you
okay.
want to come back up, I'll be here in the next 3 minutes. Awesome.
All right, that
Okay.
sounds
Well, then
great.
I'll
I
wait for you to
appreciate
come
you guys
back
for
for
your
your
time.
last hard question. Then, okay. Cool. I appreciate you, Dijon.
All
Thank
right,
you for coming
thank
up
you.
here. All right. Bye.
Of course.
Dude, I'm totally cool with people that want to check out resources. That's fantastic. Open-minded people. And you guys, yeah.
Open-minded.
I want you guys to also feel comfortable to speak up too. When I say like I felt like I'm too much, I didn't want you guys to feel like you need to be quiet. So if you want to say something, you're totally welcome to.
Yeah, you're good. There wasn't really much to say there, so.
Hey Rube, are you over 18? Cool. Why
Yeah.
aren't you vegan yet?
Because I don't see the reason. Like, I understand your viewpoint is to save the animals, but if I was to go vegan, would I actually make a difference?
It would reduce
stop production?
greatly. It's not about stopping anything. It's about not supporting it, not being a part of the system, and literally just abstaining from it.
But
That's
what
the best
percent-
thing we can do in a capitalistic system, sadly.
Well, yeah, and
But what percentage of people are vegan?
one person not eating meat, you can save over 360 animals a year. One person not eating meat.
But what percentage of America
I don't know,
is
1 to
vegan?
3, and that's not even ethical vegans. Those are probably just people eating vegan diets, like plant-based diets. Oh, sorry, Keith. Go ahead.
Okay,
Rube,
so if
try
if
applying this
5%,
logic real quick. Think of any other movement that's trying to oppose oppression. Would you think
yeah,
that would be like a valid argument for anything else? Sorry, I have a phone call.
I mean, because you can make change. A small group can make change if they protest, but if you have 30% of
Before the
people
Civil
who
War,
went vegan,
before the
does it
Civil
make a
War,
change?
do you know what percentage of the unenslaved Americans were for total abolition? Do you know what percentage? It was 3.
No. Yeah, but this is
It
not
is.
the same
We're
case because
also
this is just
standing
a
up
voting power.
against the
This is
oppression of other sentient beings. These are other peoples that are being enslaved
well,
for an unnecessary reason.
well, if you okay, so my argument here, right, is that if it's like 2%, and let's say everybody in the world was to become vegan right now, how would
Oh,
we be able to fulfill
yeah. We
those
actually
calories?
go ahead.
We
Yeah.
have them. Yeah, we have the capabilities to do this now.
So if we were to take, let's say, an average diet, 3 meals a day, let's say in those diets, 200, calories per, about 500, 600 calories from meat a day. across the span of the entire population of America.
Okay.
You can replace that with
Yeah.
production, as well as match the need for B2,
Yeah.
B
B12.
vitamins, all these different vitamins.
Yes.
Those
The
animals
answer is
you
yes.
eat are supplemented with all the things you're talking about. B12, they don't naturally get B12.
I said B2,
Yeah, even B2, B1, B2,
riboflavin.
B6, B9, B12, all of them.
Yeah, but
We already have the capabilities to produce this food now.
Yeah, but they have it naturally. So outside of
No,
that,
one
it's hard
second.
to get these.
This is besides the point, actually. So the
How's
point
that?
is we have the capability right now to do this, what you're asking if we can do.
To replace
Yes.
500 calories per person
Yes,
and
you have these
give them
capabilities.
60 grams of protein per
Well,
person.
that's weird to say, but not everybody requires 60 grams of protein per day. But again, that's a little bit besides the point. The point is we do, in fact, have the capability to do that. Yes.
Okay, and which company, if we were to do that today, would be able to fulfill that need?
Probably all of them.
Probably all of them.
Yeah, I don't know the names of every single food company in this country, but yeah, all
Then
of them can.
if you don't know, why would you say that we can?
Because we can, because it's just evident.
But you
Like
don't
you
know the
can go to the
company.
US Department. That's irrelevant. But if the company is making a food product or is producing food, then yes, those companies can produce food. I don't know what you're saying right now.
Yeah.
We can go to the US Department of Agriculture and see all of the data that we have on our agricultural system in America, and it'll be very obvious very quickly that we do in fact have this capability.
To increase production by
I mean,
100%
we have a
immediately.
we have a
We
study on it
wouldn't
too.
even have
No,
to
I just wanted
oh,
just to
sorry.
throw it in there.
Yeah, there's a study. Yeah, but we don't have to like
What's the study
your
say?
well, hold on. We don't have to increase production 100%. I don't know where you got that.
If the population of people who are vegan is 2%, that is the demand, that is production.
Rube,
So
the
if everyone was to go
answer
vegan, that would go up
yourself
100%.
for
No,
But I
this
would be curious to the study that you
Rube,
referenced.
what percentage of the global calorie supply currently comes from plant-based foods that we feed to humans directly?
I don't know.
It's 83%, right? So it's not going to be 100% increase. The only void that's being filled here is about that 17% of the calorie supply, which has already been answered and shown within the study that would be referenced here would be the largest meta-analysis to date. It's called Reducing Food's Environmental Impact Through Producers and Consumers. It's a 2019 study that looked at close to 38,000 farms across 119 countries to extrapolate the data. And effectively, we would need about 1 billion hectares of cropland to feed all of humanity plant-based. We currently, as of right this moment, use 1.24 because we have to feed livestock animals. So if you know like thermodynamics and the law of entropy, you would understand that the closer you are to the main source of production for, say, like energy on planet Earth, which in this case would be primary producers. The only primary producers on planet Earth are plants and fungi. So if you wanted the most efficient way to feed the planet, if you will, while using the least amount of cropland, it actually would be plant-based. So we would need less cropland than we do utilize right this moment rather than more.
And then taking over that cropland, would that not unalive a lot of people, a lot of animals?
More cropland. Again,
So
we
we're
use
just
1
replacing
point,
existing.
Again, just to confirm, you understood this, right? We use 1.24 billion hectares of cropland right this second, right, to feed both
And we only
humans
need
and
1.4.
hold on. 1.24 is what's used right now to feed humans and livestock. If we're not feeding livestock anymore and we have a fully plant-based system, you only need 1 billion. So it's less. We need less cropland than we utilize right this moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but what are we feeding livestock?
We're not going
Then
to have livestock in a plant-based world.
No, I know, but what are we feeding? How are we going to take that food and say, okay, we're feeding these animals this food. Now we're going to feed humans this food.
It's an inverse, right? As more people go plant-based, the amount of livestock that are in production goes down as well. It's supply and demand.
Yes, but you're saying the food that we're feeding the livestock, that is going to be tailored into amount of production. Like
Just
that
grow
food is
other
used to
plants.
feed people, but it's
yeah,
not.
no. We don't use the food we grow for animals to feed ourselves. And he's saying that if we were to only feed ourselves, we would reduce the amount of land we would need to do that. So, like he said, the less animals that exist, the less land we will use to feed them.
So you're saying that the land that we used to farm would be replaced
Yeah.
by us growing,
It would
and that
actually
would
be
Of course.
reduced.
satisfied
It would be
the need.
reduced.
Correct. That would satisfy the
Well,
need. Like he said, we would only need 1 billion hectares.
okay, can you drop the link for that
I don't have the
survey,
link,
please?
but if somebody does, if Keith has the link, he can drop it. But I have an ethical question for you, Rube.
Yeah.
Do you think that exploitation and schmurder, I don't know what words I can use here, but do you think that exploitation and schmurder are wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. So why is it not wrong to exploit and schmurder a percentage of the population?
What?
You currently don't think it's wrong to eat animals, do you?
No, it's not.
Right. So you are against exploitation and schmurder, except for this one group. Why is it justified to exploit and schmurder that group?
Because that group is not us. It's a different group.
Oh, that's so funny. This is kind of like the same argument the slave owners would make. They're not like us, so we can do whatever we want with them, right?
And then the governments realize that, yeah, they are. They're man. That's why they changed
No.
legislation.
Let's not do that. So
That is that. What are you talking
your
about?
argument is the same argument that slave owners would use. Do you think that's a rational argument to give?
No, but it doesn't apply,
Oh,
being the
so then
fact
how
that
are you going to
black people
justify
are actually
exploiting and
people and
schmurdering a
not
group?
animals.
Right.
Is
So
there is
how
there
are
a
you going
difference
to?
between a cow and a human being?
No, fundamentally, no, of course not. So how are you
There's
going
no.
to how are you going to
Okay,
justify how are you going to
okay.
justify exploitation and schmurder of a group if you think
Does
it's
everyone
wrong?
believe? Hold on. Does everyone in this panel believe that there's no difference between a person and a
Morally
cow?
speaking, there is no relevant difference to justify the difference in treatment. That's what
I
we're
didn't say
saying.
morally speaking.
Obviously,
I'm
Rube,
I'm saying,
is there a
is there a
difference
difference
between you and
between?
me? Oh, should we use those
Yes.
differences to decide if we're going to exploit each other?
There's
Do you think that
legislations
we
for our differences.
That's
should
not
we
what she
use our
asked
skin
you.
color to decide on if we should respect each other? Right, I agree. What
No,
about our
but that's not
sexual
the argument here.
orientations?
I don't know why you're
What
trying to
about our
use black and white.
sexual orientations? Do you think that's a good reason to exploit somebody? Uh-oh. Did I lose connection?
No, I don't believe in exploiting.
Okay,
I don't believe in
you do
exploiting
though.
Yeah, you
You
people.
use
do.
animals. You can go ahead, veggies. I'll mute.
Again, I don't believe in exploiting people.
Right.
A
So I'm
cow is not a
asking,
person.
that's wonderful, but I'm asking you, how are you going to justify it? Just because they're not a person?
Yeah,
And what is
because
a
they're not a
person?
person.
Yeah, what does being a person entail?
I think biology is pretty clear on what a person is.
No,
I
I
mean, I
just
don't
want to
know
know what you
what we're
think
talking about.
grants someone personhood.
I don't even want to answer that question because I think that's
I mean, if you can't
Oh, that's
answer it, then we'll
embarrassing.
just move on. It's that simple. I don't have time for people that are like, oh, I'm too smug to answer your questions that make sense. Hey, 917, are you over 18? Why aren't
Yeah,
you
I'm
vegan
over
yet?
18. Mostly cause like
cultural thing. Like most of my foods we eat are cultural. Okay. And for protein. For
do you know what veganism is? It's actually
animals,
a
right?
principled stance against the exploitation of other beings. So vegans think that we shouldn't exploit each other just based off of arbitrary traits. Do you agree? Okay.
Yeah, I agree
do
with
you
that.
know that animals are sentient? Okay, so
No, I don't
sentience
know
means
that.
the ability to have their own experience of life. So they have their own subjective experience of pain, suffering, or joy. Okay. Do you agree that animals experience their own emotions?
Yeah, of course. They
All
have
right. So
emotions.
then, is there something about animals that you think maybe justifies what we do to them to use them for food, clothing, and entertainment?
Not really. I personally eat fish. I don't really eat meat though, so I don't know much
Well,
about like
so
meat.
even with fish, but any animal that you use, what do you think is the morally relevant reason that it makes it okay to do that to fish? Like what about fish makes it okay to use their bodies?
Well, I've never really thought about it that deeply. I just like always thought like it was legal, so like that's why I do it. But I never really thought that deeply
Do you
about
know
it.
that fish
you
are
know?
sentient? Yeah.
No,
So
I
they
didn't know that.
actually do show emotion. They care about what happens to themselves. When they suffer, they actually change their behaviors and try to soothe themselves. So they care about what happens to themselves. Do you think that will change your habits?
I'll look more into it. Yeah, I'll look
Well,
more into veganism. Man.
do you think it's fair to rip someone out of their home and make them suffocate?
Nah, that's not right. No, that ain't right at all.
Yeah, you
I
sound
don't
like an
agree
honest
with that.
person. Would you be willing to watch like a documentary? Like even a 3-minute one?
Yeah. Yeah,
So if
I'll
you
watch
just
it.
go to
What's it called?
antianimaluse.org and you click on it, there's something that says see what you fund. If you click on it, it drops you down to the movie immediately and you can hit play. And afterwards, if you want to come back up, I'll bring you back up. You can tell me if it changed anything for you. Okay, cool. All right, I'll keep an eye out for you. Are you okay with dropping down right now to go watch that? All right, cool. I'll see you in a few minutes, okay? All right, cool.
All right, cool.
Awesome. Yeah, 3-minute challenge is pretty quick. So either you can look it up online, 3-minute movie challenge, or you can go to antianimaluse.org. You can click on that, but come back here and tell me, if it changed anything for you. It just shows you standard practice. So.
Yeah, thanks for bringing me up, girl. I gotta go to the doctor.
Go get yourself
I'll keep
taken care of,
listening.
okay?
I'll keep
Feel
listening.
better. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll probably
thanks
reach out
so
to you. I want to
much.
see how you're doing. Thank you for being up here, though. I really appreciate it. That's sweet. Yeah.
Have a good one, Lori. Do you mind if I
Oh yeah, please
stay and hang out with you?
I like you. You're great. Aw, thank you.
Likewise.
All right, let's get someone up here. ZIZ. Oh, I thought I hit the accept. It didn't bring you up. There you are. Hi, are you over 18?
Hello?
Cool.
Absolutely.
Why aren't you vegan yet?
I have had, I get cathartic feelings upon eating meat.
Cathartic.
It's been worked into my typical diet as long as I can remember. There's a stance that I have with it, though, that I definitely don't like to see the processes of animals. That's a harder thing for me to accept, but I do still eat meat.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
When you say you have a cathartic experience when you eat meat, what exactly does that mean?
I've allowed my brain to enjoy the process of eating meat, and I think that all the things that people say about it, yeah.
The cathartic experience is one that is so profound that it like changes your whole perception on whatever it is. It could be anything. So what do you mean?
Okay, sure, I'll be ignorant to that. I Googled that word, so I just feel good when I eat meat.
Okay. Do you think that something that makes you feel good is okay to do?
Yeah.
Oh, yikes. So if somebody liked to, I don't know, let's say, grape women and they really liked it, almost they had a cathartic experience of some kind every single time, that would be justified for them to do this?
Well, you're working under a
I'm
very
working from the
interesting
logic you've
moral.
presented.
Okay, well, the moral objectiveness of that is
Oh, nobody's talking about objectivity right now. I'm using the logic you've presented that anything you like to do is okay to do. So would a person who likes to grape women be justified in doing so because they really like it?
under what basis is okay?
You already know what we're talking about. I don't know why you're doing this.
Well, you changed the subject from veganism to
No, I did not change the subject. Again, I'm using the logic you've presented. It is justified because you like it. So we can just like construct this whole discussion around that piece of logic.
well,
So,
it's not really what I was interested in answering, so
okay, then I guess
I'm going to deny your
Well, so
question.
the question is, you
I would like to
you said
continue with the rest
basically
of
that
it.
you use animals because you enjoy it, and Veggies made a hypothetical saying, well, then you should accept the logic of a grapist that says, I enjoy this so much that it doesn't matter what my victims are experiencing.
But it's also like I can draw because I enjoy it. Like there's
Right.
nothing
There's no
wrong with
victim.
drawing
There's
because I
no.
enjoy it. So that's
There's a
what's the
victim.
line?
Go ahead, Veggie. Sorry.
no, you're totally yeah. That's it. The paper is not your victim. The pencil is not a victim. These are not
Well,
sentient beings.
amongst
that
yeah,
it's
amongst
meant to
humans,
be
it's pretty
drawn on.
important that we have a combined law set that doesn't allow us to do things like that. That we can
Well,
still.
I'm not talking about the law.
Well, you're asking about what my moral beliefs are.
No, I
If I
actually
think
am
what's good or
not.
wrong.
I'm actually not. You already admitted that actions are justified by virtue of you really liking to do them. Is that not the case?
That's a pretty tricky question. What do you think?
Well, I think that if you're going to present logic that justifies behavior, it either justifies all behavior by virtue of this reason or it doesn't. So if the answer is it depends, then the answer is inherently no, this does not justify behavior.
But I think there's a difference between eating animals that are currently livestock and
Well, sure,
committing
but
sexual assault on other
we're
humans.
not comparing the behaviors. We're testing to see how consistent the logic is.
Well, you
Does that
stumped
make
me there. So
sense?
unless you can find a way to make that more understandable, I'd rather just present what I think.
Okay, yeah, no, I can explain it to you. So basically, when you are presenting a reason that justifies behavior, this can go one of three ways, okay? It either does justify behavior by virtue of the reason, it either does not justify behavior by virtue of this reason, or you're a moral relativist, which would then imply that you're setting up a double standard, which you would then again have to justify.
So what's one example that you could provide me for something that you do that is morally standard?
I don't know what you mean by that. Are you looking to see like a behavior that I perform that I justify with a reason?
Yeah.
Okay. I eat plants, and the justification for this is they are not sentient, and the reason that matters is because I only care about who is sentient and what is just. So
Cool.
then if I were to say like, you know, if my reason is lack of sentience, then everything that lacks sentience would be justified to act upon. You see how that works? I'm not going to say like, well, this one yes, this one no, if they're all not sentient. Does that make
But
sense?
what if I raised my bar to cognition?
Okay, great. No, that's fine. So is the justifiable reason to do this to animals is a cognitive threshold of some kind?
Totally, yeah.
Okay, and what is that threshold?
Well, it's pretty evident that survival of the fittest has allowed
No,
humans
we're talking
to...
about cognition right now. So what is
Oh,
the
why'd you interrupt me?
threshold?
That's weird.
Yeah, no,
I
I
was
mean,
just
we're
explaining my
talking
point.
about cognition levels. So what is the threshold of cognition?
Oh, I don't exactly know. but I can tell you what I think.
Okay, so let me just throw out some things here for you, and you tell me if that's a good threshold, yeah?
Sure.
Okay, the ability to speak,
It's pretty cognitive.
is that the threshold?
I wouldn't say so.
Okay, the ability to build buildings?
Nope.
Okay, the capacity of just, experiencing your existence?
That's pretty powerful. Or
Oh,
is
okay.
powerful.
Great. So nobody below that deserves moral consideration, correct?
Incorrect. I think there's probably we don't really know, so I can't just say anything
Well,
below
I'm
that
just
specific
wondering,
thing.
if your threshold is the capacity to even experience your own existence, that would mean that those
That's such a
who
broad thing
do
you're
not.
saying, though. That's feelings, emotions, and memory. This is what I'm working at.
No. It's a threshold, my friend. So if the threshold is being able to experience your own existence, then that would mean that anyone below this level of cognition deserves no moral consideration, right?
But babies can speak before they truly have that cognition.
Hold on.
Why are you constantly? You should just answer my question.
You're not asking one, but you're miscategorizing what we're talking about here. So if the threshold is being able to experience your own existence, anything below this level of cognition does not deserve moral consideration, right?
You brought morality into this.
This is what we are talking about. Yes, correct. So the threshold for you is some kind of cognitive application here. So I said, is the threshold those who can experience their existence? You said, sure, yeah, which is fine. If you want to change your answer, that's totally fine. But we're going to go with sure, yeah. And so that would mean if the bar is here, anyone below the bar does not deserve moral consideration, correct?
It's a gray bar, but sure.
Okay, great. So then animals are above this bar or at this bar. So just by virtue of this line of questioning, then you should also not be eating animals.
You have evidence to prove that animals are above that bar?
Animals do experience their own existence. That's correct.
Yes, we do have evidence that animals are sentient. We have multiple declarations of consciousness. We have the New York Declaration of Consciousness and the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness. And we go over thousands of studies that talk about behavior and the anatomy of most other animals that have a brain and central nervous system.
However, a threshold
doesn't
still
matter.
exists.
Yeah, and the threshold includes animals deserving of moral consideration, as admitted by you.
Yeah.
All right.
Makes sense.
You should go to veganeasy.org. You should go to antianimaluse.org, and you should, back up your words.
All right. Well, I'll also just say what I wanted to say. So I wanted to consider for you guys that if you could imagine a being that's above our cognition, and what would their choice be for us? And they would definitely look at us closer to like chickens, or maybe more like dolphins, which are a exceedingly intelligent animal or cognitive animal. But would that stop them from doing what they want to do?
It probably wouldn't, but it would still be wrong.
We're talking about what should
wrong
be,
to
not
us.
what is.
We would never want to be just pawned by another being that's better than us and then just taken by.
So
That's
why
why
are
we're
you
in the
doing that
position
to
that
other
we are, because I was born as a human, which luckily places me at the top of the ladder.
Yourself. You just said you don't want a higher intelligent race coming in and doing this to you, but because you're a higher intelligent race, you can do it to others.
It's the nature of things.
No, this is the nature
Exactly.
of bad
You're just
logic.
contradicting yourself within the same breath. You did.
I didn't think I did.
You did, definitely. It's not okay for them to do this to us, even though they deem themselves superior, and they might be. But it is okay for you to do this to quote unquote lesser beings. So
What's
that is
okay for me would
entirely
not be okay for them. It's
right.
different.
So this is a double standard, right? Which you would have to justify.
Which is justified by the way that survival works out, because the strongest are at the top and
You can't
smartest.
actually justify morals with things that exist or the way things are. For example, I couldn't justify punching you in the face just because I can make a fist.
But you would be punished for it by the law, which would
No,
bring you a
you do
moral
it here.
obligation to stop doing that.
Just try to pay attention, okay? It wouldn't.
This is so goofy.
Yeah, no. All you have to do is pay attention. So we're not talking about the law. I'm just telling you that I wouldn't be able to justify harming you just because my hands can make a fist. So when you try to justify what you are doing to animals because top of the food chain or whatever, it's like the same exact thing. It's fallacious reasoning.
You can see it that way. I think it's pretty viable. I think
I
I've
see
had
it
my
that way
mind
because
rather
that's how logic
explored today. I
works.
appreciate you guys' time. I'm gonna head out.
Of course. All right. Well, I do have actually someone that went and watched the 3-minute film. We'll see if anything changed for them. Hey.
Yeah, I watched it. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
The film is pretty
it's pretty
crazy.
wild.
It's
So how do you
mostly
feel about
things.
that?
Oh, that's messed up. Like they would torture, the
Well, I
animals.
mean, it just kind of comes with the territory of
Yeah.
thinking as of someone as a something, right? Because a product doesn't have feelings, so it doesn't matter what happens to them.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about funding
course,
that?
yeah.
Do you want to keep supporting that?
Nah, I'll look at some more vegan
Hell
friendly
yeah.
meals for the
Yeah.
gym,
Just type in like your favorite meal and put the word vegan next to it. I often, I know a lot of people don't like this, but if you're comfortable with using those AI search engines, you can have them make meal plans for you.
Yeah.
And they make mistakes, so you can like double check it. There's a free app called Cronometer, and you just throw the meal into Cronometer and it breaks down the micro and macronutrients of what's in your meal, so you can make sure that you get everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Is there?
All right, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
And let me put you on to something real quick. So you said you like to go to the gym, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a high protein, very cheap option, you're gonna want to look up something called seitan. It's spelled Seitan. You can either buy it or you can make it yourself, but it's a very high protein plant-based option.
I'll look into it. Yeah, I'll copy and paste it right now.
Yeah, Seitan.
Awesome. Also, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to any of the vegans you've seen on the panel or me. I would love to answer any questions you have. But I would honestly, because you went to the website, if you go to the button, the one that was right next to it, says end your participation. Oh my gosh, I'm stuttering like crazy. If you click on the button that says end your participation, it actually drops you down to a window where you can see the 10 Weeks to Vegan group. So you can jump right in if you want to try joining them.
Yeah.
There's also a resource page that if you click on it, it does show you like a bunch of other documentaries like Game Changers, which you might like because you're talking about muscle building. And I feel like that documentary really is good for people who want to build muscle. So go on there, honestly, I just really push you to try the 10 Weeks to Vegan or veganeasy.org. Whatever one you want to do, just because it's important to have that community so that if you do have any issues, you have somebody you can reach out to. Okay. Awesome.
Alrighty,
Well,
man.
I appreciate I'm going to give you a follow. Like I said, reach out to me or anybody if you have any questions, okay? Yeah. I really
All right, well,
appreciate you
thank
going
you.
and
Thank
checking
you,
out
guys.
that resource too. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
All right. I'll see you later.
All right, later, guys.
That was amazing. Oh, hi, Keith. I see you there.
It's
Yeah,
a
that was a
dub.
major dub. Yes, please. That's all it takes really is people just looking at the information and deciding if they really want to be a part of this. Do you want to support animal exploitation or not? And it's really simple. So, hey, Keith, welcome back.
Yeah, it was so every time I would
Yeah, your
start talking to
phone.
that guy,
They knew. They knew. They're like, call Keith. He's dropping
like-
points. We can't. Yeah, we can't have him up
Distract him.
here.
Distract him.
Too funny.
I feel like that
It
conversation
didn't. No, it did
end
not.
positively.
Yeah, that's okay though.
Okay.
We got other people. I'm probably gonna go. I don't know. Let's do like one more. I've been up here a little while, so I think I'm gonna call it for like the next. We're gonna do one more and then call it after that. Is that cool with you guys? Cool. All right.
Sounds good.
Let's bring up Landon. You've been waiting there a minute. Hi. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, thank you. I am 22, so I'm over 18. And I would like to start this off with saying I do believe every creature on Earth, as insignificant as it may be, does have moral worth. I'm a little skeptical on mosquitoes, but I'll allow them. I'll allow them to slide by. But I would like to start off with there. My main argument against veganism would be that I don't think that there's anything inherently wrong with natural processes. And I would add on to that, I do think mass farming, animal cruelty, the torture that does go on in these establishments is horrible. It's unjustifiable and it shouldn't happen. Meat used to be a very high commodity for a reason because we didn't have the ability to mass farm it. And that's kind of where I lay with it. I don't think that there's anything wrong with the natural processes. I think that humans were designed to be able to eat meat when necessary for their survival.
To confirm, you're saying there's not a natural process that exists out in the world that could be deemed as immoral?
Correct. I don't think hurricanes are immoral, just as I believe
I'm not talking about that. I would be talking
no,
about
and that's why I just wanted to throw that out there, and then also add on to it that, like, let's say chimpanzees, they're omnivores, but even when they're not hungry, if there's food around, even if it's another living creature, they would take that, kill that, eat that, and I don't think that there's anything objectively wrong with that. Just
that's
because
not
it's
where I
a
was going.
Well, I do have a question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Just real quick. So, like, is a sexual urge a natural process?
Yeah, I would say so.
So should we just always act on those natural processes that occur within our bodies, no matter who might be victimized by that action?
No, because now you're including the fact of like sexual assault, but we do see that in nature, and
I'm asking, should we consider the ideas of consent as a trumping card to the ideas of a natural urge?
And that's when I would say it depends.
Huh?
I would say it depends. I don't think that a coyote who's not hungry but sees a stray dog is evil.
Well,
the idea here is right. There's a difference between a moral patient and a moral agent. Do you think a moral agent, someone who can recognize right and wrong, who can have a cognitive sense of the world and realize their actions within it, do you think that individual who can recognize these things, if they have a natural schmexual urge and can conceptualize the idea of informed consent, if they should just act on that, or if the idea of should the idea of informed consent trump that natural urge?
Yes, I will concede that. I do believe if you have the cognitive function to understand consent and you go against it, you're wrong.
Right. So then that would be the point, is that the natural thing goes out the window, right? It doesn't apply in all cases, so it wouldn't apply, by the metric here, or it doesn't need to apply because otherwise it just becomes special pleading. We're not actually effectively holding true that in all scenarios, all the time, anything natural is therefore justified or good, right?
Well, I didn't say justified or good. I just say that I don't think that you can. I don't think you can attach a moral compass to a natural process.
Well,
so let me say it like this, specifically on the schmexual assault side of things. I think a human schmexually assaulting anything is immoral. I think if a chimpanzee schmexually assaults another chimpanzee, then it's it's nature. That's outside of their ability
it's
to
also
recognize.
the understanding of a moral agent versus a moral patient. If
Mhm.
a child or a person with severe mental difficulties were to cause harm to another human, we don't hold them in the same level of culpability as you and I, because we recognize that they're not moral agents who are fully cognizant of the concepts of right and wrong, which is why
Right.
we have different laws that get applied here for those situations. So the idea isn't unique to our species or anything like that either.
So you think that there are other species that can act as moral agents?
No, I'm saying that the idea here is specific to moral agency rather than species.
Right. But I believe that humans are the only ones that are able to be morally.
Right, that'd be the point. If there were another moral agent, then they would be culpable on the same level. So if a coyote, to your example earlier, if a coyote did become a moral agent, well, now there would be some kind of duty-bound ethic to sway whether they should do one particular thing or the other. Right
I
now,
agree.
it's not really going to be applicable to them. Just like how it's not applicable to children, it's not applicable to people with severe mental disabilities, etc. So it's not a species-dependent thing. It's the action of being a moral agent or a moral patient. So you, as a moral agent, you absolutely wouldn't look at any natural process and say it's justified for you to do this action simply because it's a natural process.
Right.
So that's the whole point. That's what veganism is trying to say, is it's a guideline for how you should act as an individual, not for how you should punish others or how others should act. It's for how you should act. So in this scenario, if there's a natural process that's taking place and it causes the mass exploitation and degradation and harm of other sentient beings and you don't need to participate in it, well, then you shouldn't be participating in it.
I would completely agree with that, and I say I live my life like that. Even when I do buy meat products or animal products in general, I try to be very cognizant of the fact of, hey, where did this come from? We don't really shop from Walmart. We go to our local butcher. One of our neighbors sells eggs from their local hatchery. They don't even farm their chickens. They just use them for eggs. None of them are fertile.
They're still exploited.
But I wouldn't agree. I think that animals in these situations live a way better life than any
You're
animal.
confusing welfare with exploitation.
I think exploitation has to. I think exploitation has to cause harm, and I don't think that there's harm.
Okay, so if I come up to a human and I, within like the shadow of the night, without them seeing anything coming, I unalive them in the shadow of the night, I haven't done anything wrong because perhaps they didn't experience harm?
No, if you murder another human being, that's unjust.
Okay, so then what's the morally relevant trait difference that would justify doing this needlessly to one sentient individual but not the other?
And see that's the thing, needlessly. Yeah, if it's needless, then
correct.
Yeah,
that's what you're choosing to do to these sentient individuals, is pay for a product that was needless.
Mm-hmm. And I think one of our most fundamental disagreements would be I hold a lot more moral worth in humans than I do any other creature on Earth.
To address something that you initially said, and
Yeah.
you said that every living creature, regardless of how insignificant they might seem, is deserving of moral consideration. And now
Absolutely.
it seems like you're backpedaling.
No. I do think that there are. I do think that there are levels to it.
Right.
I think that some things are more valuable morally than others.
If I may, if all creatures are deserving of moral consideration, period, then why would it be okay to deny moral consideration to some of them?
And that's where it comes to situation.
How would you justify this contradiction?
How would I justify that contradiction? I think that an ant is morally significant. We shouldn't go out of our way to eliminate ants.
Okay,
I don't think that we should go out of our way. I don't think that hold on. I don't think that we should go out of our way to eliminate cows. But
you do.
I don't go out of my way to eliminate.
You do, yes. You
No.
do. Nobody's forcing you to buy these products.
You're correct. You're correct.
You're not being coerced into buying these products. You willingly go out of your way, as you put it, to pay for these products, which you absolutely know what that entails.
Yeah, I mean, I just
Right. So how are you going to justify going out of your way to unalive a cow if you wouldn't go out of your way to unalive ants?
I would say it comes to culture, diet, and accessibility.
Okay, so let's go with culture first. You think your behavior is justified by virtue of a culture?
No, I think that's an aspect of it.
It's just a yes or no.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's an absolute, like yes, but yes, but.
Give me 3 reasons here: culture, diet, and what was that last one? Accessibility. So we're just going to go one by one. Do you think that behaviors are justified by virtue of culture?
No.
Okay, so then we're just going to take that one off the list.
No, but you can apply it.
I can, yes.
You can give me yes or no's, but this whole topic isn't a yes or no.
Landon, so like if you're in a courtroom, right, and you make up like a story for why you performed XYZ action, and you say, okay, well, I did this action because of this happening, and they instigated it, and they attacked me, and I also didn't like the color of their hair. So that's why I was like additionally like after I had already subdued them, I then punched them in the face again because I didn't like the color of their hair, right? And then this other thing happened and a bus hit me or whatever the heck, right? All these things could corroborate all together within the story. Do you think when a jury in a court are trying to analyze this, they would just look at it all together at once, or do they look at it segment by segment?
They do look at it segment by segment, of
right,
course.
That's what we're doing here. So if the idea of cultural narratives justifying, needless exploitation isn't a valid reason to perform that action, then we can just remove that from the list as being a meaningful reason for your continued exploitation in this scenario, right?
Okay.
Just like
yeah,
how
I'll concede
they would
that.
look at that scenario, right, where the person says, "Oh, well, I punched her in the face an additional time because I didn't like the color of their hair." Well, they would look at that part and be like, "Yeah, that's not justification for doing what you did there. The part before it, where they were instigating and attacking you, and they started it, that would be certainly reason to defend yourself and cause harm and inflict harm upon them to defend yourself." But that last part where they were already subdued and then you punched them in the face just for funsies because you didn't like their hair, that part wasn't okay. So there might be some
I'll concede that
for
point,
that part,
and I see the analogy.
So
I'll concede that.
Now that culture has been eliminated from this list, we have diet and accessibility. Okay. So when you say diet justifies this behavior, what exactly do you mean by that?
We were designed to be able to eat meat. It's rather healthy for us, and
is it necessary to eat animals?
I think at this point in science that we've come to a point where we can live off of completely plant-based stuff. Yeah.
It's still necessary, even though we can live off of completely plant-based?
No. I'm saying it's not necessary.
Okay, so it's not necessary for your diet. So how does diet justify doing this?
So I would say that due to the fact that, actually, no, that's a bad point.
Just to be clear, if you're going to go with "we were designed to do this," you're gonna
no, because you're gonna. Yeah, no, I understand how that's a fallacy because we have fists, but that doesn't justify you punching somebody.
No, that's not what I was gonna say at all. I was gonna say if you're going to go down the route of "we were designed to do this," you would actually first have to demonstrate that that is the case. But also, that's not really what I'm asking. How does diet justify doing these things to other sentient beings if you agree that it's not necessary for our diet to consume these beings?
Well, and that's where I would say that it's again an aspect of it. So it's not an absolute, so you can toss it out the window, I guess.
We'll toss that one out the window.
Yep.
So the last justification that wasn't really a justification, I suppose, is accessibility. So when you say you are justifying this behavior with accessibility, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I believe that, let's say you live in India or Pakistan or any of these places, meat's going to naturally be a part of your diet because it is what you need to do to live. No, I don't.
Okay, so when you say accessibility is justifying you doing this, what do you mean by that?
I'm not saying I'm justified in that. I'm
Your
saying
list was culture, diet, and accessibility.
no. I'm not saying it justifies myself. I'm saying in general.
Okay, so
In general,
right.
culture,
I don't think it's
diet,
very
and
wise. I don't think it's particularly wise of you to speak on the circumstances of others that you are not experiencing. But so culture didn't justify this, diet didn't justify this, accessibility seems to not be justifying this. How exactly
accessibility does justify this, just not in my specific circumstance.
Okay, so it doesn't justify it. Great.
Well, but that's just not true because it does, just not in my circumstance.
How does it justify it?
How does it justify it? Yeah. So I think it's more correct for an animal to die to continue a human's life.
That's not what I'm asking.
How does someone else's?
Well, you said how does it justify it, and you said how does it justify?
Hold on.
I'm trying to explain.
Someone else's access to resources affect your choices when you have abundant choices? Oops.
Yeah.
Again,
I meant to mute me, not you.
You are making these. Yeah, so you're making these choices and you're saying the accessibility of others is justifying these choices you are making, or is that not what you're saying?
No, I'm justifying eating meat in general.
I would like to know how you justify it with accessibility for your situation.
Yeah.
And Landon, to be clear, right? So we're talking about veganism, which is a principled stance against the needless exploitation of sentient life where possible and practicable to avoid. Meaning if we had like a steelman situation here where, say, there was someone living in an extremely remote location with no access to be completely fully plant-based, and that's like been taken into account, it's been quantified, it is 100% known that they just cannot do it as it stands right now. But this person goes, I have a principled stance to say needless exploitation is wrong. I'm going to do my absolute best right now. And as new opportunities arise, I'm going to take them that allow me to push it further, right? To say, I'm going to not participate in needless exploitation. There might be some amount of needed exploitation that I'm participating in right now. But that person could actually still technically be labeled as a vegan despite consuming some amount of animal products, because they're not doing it because they have like a flippant desire to consume this product, you know, for either like general convenience or a taste pleasure. They're doing it because, oh, if I didn't do this, I would, you know, quite literally pass away, or some other egregious thing would happen to me in the process, right? That's all veganism is asking of people effectively at the end of the day. So like these examples of like extreme scenarios where someone has little to no access to be fully plant-based has nothing to do with whether that person can be vegan or not. So it especially wouldn't ascribe here where it's about you who's in a particular situation where you absolutely can access these things. We're not telling people in those remote situations that they cannot be vegan. There might be a reality for them that they cannot be fully plant-based. But being fully plant-based and being fully vegan are two very different things.
Right.
Yeah, and there would also be a problem if you were going to justify your behavior with somebody else's circumstance, because
and that's why I wanted to clear up. I'm not justifying my behavior. I'm arguing against. I'm arguing against
behavior.
You said, huh?
Well, we're talking to you, and you are also doing this behavior.
Okay.
So how are you going to justify your behavior? Seems like none of the reasons you gave actually worked. Do you have another one?
So I would say I think that we might disagree on exploitation here.
Okay.
Because I attempt to get all of my meat and animal products from what I would consider morally. Moral farms.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about exploitation, okay?
Yeah.
What do you take exploitation to mean?
So I would say, I think it would be exploitive to gather up 10 million chickens every day and kill them second by second.
What does the word exploitation mean to you?
Exploitation means to me to take advantage of something or someone for your own advancement or well-being.
Okay, you do not think that taking the lives of animals to benefit you is under that umbrella of a definition?
I would say yes, but I think with moral farming,
Well, if it's a
you're
yes, then you are simultaneously against and in favor of exploitation, which is a problem.
but this is when you like things aren't just objectively right or
We're not
wrong.
talking about objectivity of morality right now. We're talking about what you think. And currently, you simultaneously hold the belief that exploitation is both wrong and right. That's a logical
Correct. I think exploitation is correct in some circumstances.
Yeah, can you justify this?
Yeah, I think the exploitation of animals for clothes is pretty much necessary. In the modern world, it's reducing. In the modern world, it's reducing for sure.
Okay, so can you please show some kind of evidence or give a really good argument that it is necessary to wear animals in 2026?
I would argue. No, I can't. I'll refute that point. That was a stupid idea that I brought up
We'll
there.
just pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah, if we could. That was a little embarrassing on my behalf.
No problem. So how are you going to justify exploitation when you are against exploitation?
Yeah, so I think exploitation doesn't have to be against a living being, you know? And even if it is, like I think I would say I exploit my parents when I go over there for dinner because I'm using them for my own well-being, but I don't necessarily think that's evil. I think, and the reason I bring up that,
Landon, did your parents consent to that situation?
Yeah,
No.
did you hold a gun?
Actually, and that's the funny part. Most of the time, no, I just show up and I'm like, hey, I'm hungry. And they're like, oh, Jesus
and
Christ. And they make me food.
they could very easily just say, sorry, can't do it, right? Like you're not gonna
I would say from experience that's not likely.
I mean, I think
I'm not
them
asking
taking
you about, this is so bizarre. So no, but the point is that they
like, look,
could say no.
you gotta let me get my stuff off because I brought that up for a reason.
Landon. The point is that they have the capability of saying no, correct?
Correct.
Okay, great. So then it's not exploitation because they have the opportunity to deny your request, and you're not going to beat your parents over the head if they say, sorry, we can't make you dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So these animals, however, do not have the option to say no because we've constructed equipment that makes them powerless to even try to escape, let alone obviously tell us no. They can't do that, obviously. But we have to trick them into compliance, and they don't have an opportunity to reject this. Would this be under exploitation for you?
I think it would all fall under exploitation, but I think whether it's good or bad. You gotta let me get my stuff off. You gotta let me get my stuff
You
off.
already answered the question, so
Well, yeah, I know, but if this is a conversation, we have to talk back and forth. You can't just question me,
yeah.
right?
So you do think it's exploitation. So
Right.
again, one more time, how are you going to justify this exploitation while simultaneously being against exploitation?
I think some exploitation is good and some exploitation is bad.
What I just heard,
Okay,
is
so
the
using someone's-
exploitation that he benefits from is acceptable.
And can I actually give an example to that?
I mean, I'm looking for a justification, but
I'm
sure.
going to bring up an example. So I think that it is exploitation to quote unquote morally farm
Exploitation means
an animal.
hold on,
Please let me get my stuff off. But
exploitation means to use someone unfairly for your benefit. You keep saying there's this nice way to exploit, but in the definition, it says to use someone unfairly for your benefit.
I'm gonna try and be charitable to you, Landon, right now. So I'm gonna try and help you for a moment. And
Well, I would like to get
no,
my
it's fine.
explanation off because I've gotten interrupted 6 times in a row. I
literally
literally haven't gotten through a single sentence, guys.
literally
The
trying to
only
help
thing you guys have let me do is say yes or no during this
I'm
conversation,
literally
and that's
trying
not
to
a good faith
I'm
discussion.
literally trying to help you right now. So, is it okay to exploit other animals because they are not human?
No, that's
Okay,
not
then why
the
is it
reason.
okay? Then why is it okay to do this?
So, I'm going to bring up an example.
Can you
Let me
just
get my
answer
stuff
one?
off, please. Because I've been asked 19 questions and I haven't even been able to give my thoughts on
Landon, we
those
don't
questions. You
want
guys
to
are just
listen
giving
to
me
your
yes or no's and telling
monologue.
me to answer.
We
It's
don't
not a
want to
good faith
listen to your
discussion
monologue.
then.
We're talking. We're just trying to understand your logic, and
It's hard to monologue if it's not even a sentence long.
Well, the question, just to be fair, is why is it okay to exploit these animals if it's not because they are not human? Why is it okay then?
Okay. I think that if you're able to give this animal a better life than it would have in nature,
replaced with a
and
child.
you still benefit from that, then that is exploitation that is beneficial for both
Replaced with a
parties,
child.
even though one can't consent.
Replace
Huh?
the animal with a child.
Wait,
Go ahead, O.
did I just hear that like farming is like nature?
Yep.
No, I did not say farming is nature. I said if you can farm to benefit the animal. If this animal has a better life than it would in nature,
Oh,
then
I
I
have a
think it is
follow-up
beneficial for both parties.
I have a
Okay.
follow-up question based on this. So, if
Yeah.
I were to go to a country which is like just so obviously the worst country you could possibly imagine, death and destruction, oppression, no rights, terrible country to live in, and I go and I kidnap a person and I put them on my property and I say, "Hey, you will work for me." But hey, you don't live in that shitty country anymore. Is this okay for me to do that?
No.
Okay, why? Is it because they're also a human being, or
I would say, yeah, I'd say they're human and
Great,
they have higher moral worth than
great. So
other
then
animals.
the reason that it's okay to do this to animals is because they're not human, right?
But I would say I wouldn't even say that. I don't think that's a fair
All right,
justification
so
of
then
my
the
stance.
very simple third grade level question is, why is it okay then?
I think that if you can benefit both parties in the
Yeah, no,
exploitation,
in my
then it's-
hypothetical, both parties were benefited, but it's not right for me to do that?
how do you know that?
Because
How do you know? How do you know?
Can I just flag really quickly too that
Yeah.
these animals don't exist in nature, like cows, chickens, pigs.
Yeah,
we
they've been
farm them into
domesticated.
existence. Like, yeah, so that's kind of.
Well, what's weird is that I've kidnapped this person from their very terrible, shitty country. They have to work for me for sure, but both of us are benefiting. Why is that not okay?
But you can't say that. You can't say
Why
that
is
that
that
person
not
wanted to leave
okay?
their situation. You're
Why
kidnapping
is
them.
that not okay?
Why is it not okay?
Yeah, both parties are benefiting. It's fine. Right?
Because what does that person think of it?
What exactly?
I
But
don't
what
care.
does the victim think of it? That matters more, right?
And that
don't
let's say
speak English, so I can't understand.
that deer is going to be way more happy in a hunting range
that
when it's
person-
marked and
okay,
you can
so
only
let's
kill
say
it.
she's- hold
hold
on,
on.
no,
hold
no,
on.
no,
That
no,
hold
no,
on.
no,
Let me
no,
get my
no,
shit
no.
off,
You're
yo.
literally trying to say that it's okay for you to enslave someone because you're giving them a better life than they would in the wild. That's not even what the dichotomy is. You're literally breeding someone into existence that would not have existed. You're breeding someone into enslavement. You know, there's no suffering in non-existence, right? They don't feel anything. You're literally bringing someone to life
Do you
and
think
saying,
cows
hey,
are
you
enslaved?
could have been a wild animal when they would not have. They would not have existed. And even if there was a wild animal scenario where you did bring them in, personally, I would not want to be enslaved. I'd rather take my risks being free. I don't care that I might starve a little. I don't want to be your lapdog.
I would say 80% of animals disagree with you.
Oh
We're
yeah,
just
you
ending
must
it there.
know, right?
I'm sorry. He spoke for so goddamn long. No, you don't have the rights over someone else's autonomy just because you gave them the opportunity of life and that you think that they're, that's literally what slave owners said. They said that the slaves were safer with them. They even said, oh, well, they enslave each other, so it's okay for us. And God ordained that I'm better than them anyway. So, like, literally every excuse you have is the same that a YT enslaver or slave owner would say. I was just getting sick of it. I'm sorry, guys.
Just to be clear, he definitely said that wild deer would be
Dead.
better off
or farmed
in a hunting range
That's
than in
wild.
wild. Yikes.
Who would ever choose that? Like right now, you have risks, right? You could walk out in front of a bus or whatever vehicle drives around you the most. Would you rather be enslaved because then you're going to live longer? You're going to be at whatever whim that your owner has, but you might live longer. I wouldn't take that.
Hell no, I'd die.
Exactly.
I'll die
no,
tomorrow.
thank you.
It's fine.
No, thank you. Especially if it's between not being born and enslavement. I don't want to be born then. There's no suffering in that. Yeah. That guy is just trying to convince himself that he's doing something right when he knows that he's enslaving someone. He's like, oh, but it would have been worse for you. It's okay that I'm forcing whatever I want from you and ignoring what you want. I was just getting tired of him ignoring their personhood, essentially. They're just a resource to him. They're like a rock. But, a rock you cannot kick because to him they have something of a moral value. I don't know. It just didn't make sense. And I was getting tired of him going in circles. So, anyway.
Yeah, I just never understand the term moral or ethical farm. Like, that just always gets me.
I don't understand that either. Because, what is the moral? You mean you're not, kicking them because you're angry? You have to, put that on a label? You shouldn't have to state that. It should be obvious.
I only ethically abduct people
Exactly.
from their shitty
Oh, good.
countries.
So you wash the bag that you cover their head with. That's so nice of you.
Yeah, we launder them
that's so
every
kind.
week for sure.
You're so compassionate.
I try my best.
Ugh. Yeah. I would not want to be a farm animal. Every time I look into their eyes, I'm just like, God, that I can't. It just makes me so angry. That's why when I have a team behind me, I just want to start smashing skulls. Anyway, guys. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it here. I'm obviously getting too silly now, but I will be live on another platform, not here. So keep an eye out for anti-animal use. Real quick, let me go ahead and flip my little image. You can see us. Here we are. Hello, look at us. We look so pretty. We're so pretty. Oh, that didn't work. I'm supposed to remove my background. There we go. So yeah, check us out. We'll be both live this Friday and Saturday. So please come look for us. Just keep your little peepers open. Yeah, just exciting. So just keep an eye on anti-animal use. And other than that, please check out all the vegans on the panel. Please go check them out if you're not already following them. Got O. Although, you didn't get a chance to really talk. Is there anything you want to throw out there real quick?
No, it's all good.
Hell
Just
yeah.
wanted to hop
It's been
on.
a minute, man.
Thought I
I'm really
had
excited to
plans
see you up here.
so.
So thank you for popping up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Thanks
And
for
then
having me.
we got Keith. These are all great animal rights activists, so I'm not going to repeat myself. But go check out Keith. He sometimes is on Tofu Whisper, goes live. Definitely check him out. Veggies goes live. Honestly, follow Veggies because she does more than just vegan activism. She does other activism too, so definitely check her out. She's active on other lives. So, check out these activists. You'll see when they're up. You'll see them when they're on other panels, so you'll see other vegans. And yeah, with that, I will see you, if not this Friday and Saturday, I will see you on Monday. And yeah, you guys all have a great vegan day. Bye.
Bye.
You
Love
guys,
you.
see ya. I have to move all my things. There we go. Oh, and YouTube. Sabby, I didn't read it. Sabby, I wanted to read it so bad. I'm so sorry. Sabby. Oh my gosh. Oh, and it even disappeared too. Wow. So I need to talk about memberships. Will do. And who is it? Oh, Lori. You were thanking Lori. I will send her a private message to let her know you were giving her the dubs. Or was it a person that was up on the panel, like a non-vegan? I don't remember a Lori, but other than the vegan Lori that comes up. But anyway, I'll send her a message. Thank you for the donation. I really do appreciate it. That was really sweet. Why don't I see it? Oh, there it is. Fun Fanning. There it is. Well done, Lori W. Also, enable gift memberships next time, Anna. I will look into that. I honestly just kind of figured out the donations thing. So everything is so new to me. But I will definitely check out memberships. If you want to be my member, I won't hold you back. But thank you for that. And yeah, all the TikTokers is always great. They do a lot of donations. I always forget to read it because it's at the top and in the corner, and I don't ever look in that direction. I just need to do it. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I really do want to interact with the chat more, too, because you guys are really important. And I want you to know that I do see you actively being in there, and it really does make a difference. So thank you for that. We're trying to moderate. I know there's a lot of people in here, and it can get a little hectic. Even with just a few people, it can be a little much. But anyway, I just want to wish you guys a great vegan day, and I will end it here. Go follow some other vegan. Go see who else is live and see what's up. All right. Oh, yeah. Don't forget, anti-animal use. Check us out. Friday and Saturday. Actually, since we're not on TikTok anymore, yeah, definitely check us out on Friday and Saturday. You'll see a stream for Saturday, but you won't see Fridays until the day of because it's special. All right. So I'll make a post that's just a reminder to keep your eye on us. And yeah, I'll be your little reminder. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Bye. I don't know why I keep doing that. I'll see you later.